up 1 game and 1 shot short. Last year in Calgary, they made it 2 National Men's Curling Championships. And then at the Ford Worlds in Bismarck, they won that too. Just a few weeks ago in Halifax, they were absolutely perfect. Ran the table to win a 3rd straight. Nokia Breyer now trying to make it 2 worlds in a row. Of course, you don't have the success without the support of your family, and Ferbey and the team have had plenty of that. But now they've got a whole country behind them, too. You remember Salt Lake? Remember Kevin Martin, final stone, gold medal game, went too far, and Norway's Paul Trulsen stepped highest, and he won gold. Good morning, Canada, and welcome back to the arena in Winnipeg and TSN's continuing coverage of the Ford World Curling Championships. Vic Roeder along with Linda Moore, Ray Turnbull, as we are set for this men's semifinal, as Canada, finishing first in round-robin play, will now go against the 4th place Norwegians, while Finland will play Switzerland in the other semi this morning. The Canadian champions are out of the Avonayre Curling Club in Edmonton. The lead is Marcel Rock, Scott Pfeiffer. Randy Ferbey is the skip that throws the 3rd stones and the 4th stone from David Nedewin. The Norwegian champions, Bent Ramsfeld, Flemming Davinger, Lars Voberg, and Paul Trulsen out of the Strebek Curling Club in Oslo. Canada will play the red stones. They got the hammer by finishing first. Norway will play the yellow. And so to get us going, with Canada holding the hammer in this first end of play, the Norwegian lead is Bent Ramsfeld.
Well, and I don't think Randy will wait for very much. It's a morning draw. The ice is great. He's got the hammer, so you can bet I think he'll go.
It is a huge advantage, I believe, to have the hammer for Canada. They like to be aggressive early and try and build a little bit of a lead, and you know they can defend if they get that lead early.
You guys like a guard here?
No. Hit the guard on your neck.
Hit the first one, throw the guard with the next one.
Great numbers for all the Canadian players.
Yep.
An interesting matchups, not that much of a discrepancy between the 2 teams at each position as far as shooting percentages go.
What?
Canadian team haven't played red stones on this sheet of ice, so they chose from 2 sheets. They're allowed to choose from A and B. But you knew that Paul Trulsen was probably going to like the yellows on this sheet, because in last game of round-robin play, Norway beat Finland 10-1 using these stones. So that probably gives you a lot of confidence.
That's a good sign. That's right.
Although Randy Ferbey was quoted in one of the articles saying, you know what, I really don't care about stones. Never have. It's not been a great concern for him. There was a bit of showmanship during practice yesterday. I guess the Norwegian coach was sniffing around the stones and looking and checking and seeing, and it was all during the Canadian practice. And they were asking Randy afterwards, you know, what did that throw? He said, let them pick what they want. I've got mine. It doesn't really matter what he throws.
You know, when he says he doesn't care about the stones, he doesn't dwell on, but he knows, like, they know well enough that if there's one that's fast or one that's, you know, slow or one that curls more, they know that, and they just either avoid them or make sure that they, when they are throwing them, I have to throw them. They know what they're doing with it.
And Ray, I think on every team there's a player who sort of has that job of being a very good matcher of stones, and I don't think it's Randy on this team, but they did pick and choose, Vic, so they did select amongst sheets A and B with those red stones.
Corner guard went up. Paul Trulsen will go around this. Trying to keep it high.
Fleming Davinger.
Bare på dobbeltfoten. Bare dobbeltfot. Dobbeltfot. Kommer nå. Bare dobbeltfot. Wow. Fleming. Ja, bra spilt, Fleming.
It looks like the ice is about the same as it's been all week, and the players love that. If we talk ice times, brought to you by Karcher, and measure between the hog lines, yes, we may see some of those big wave peels at 7 seconds, hack about 12 seconds. The draw is 14.5, but brushing can carry it. Maybe if you get 15 seconds hog to hog, Scott and Marcel in particular can probably drag it that extra distance. That last rock timed as consistently as it has from the first day, and full credit to Hans Vutrick and the ice crew for getting the consistency of speed for these players.
And there's been no fudging at all. We saw that. You have to be very careful on the slide path, even later in the later ends, especially down in the area, the 4-foot area.
The other semifinal features in the foreground Finland and Marquis Pavelniemi, and Switzerland, Ralph Steckley. Switzerland with the hammer in that first end.
I got a gripper mark off him when he was stroked. So.
Also part of this early morning here in Winnipeg, the women's bronze medal game. Dorty Nordby and at Norberg of Sweden, having lost in the semifinals. Norway beaten by Pauline Jones in an extra end. And Sweden losing to the Americans, setting up a Canada-US final. And in that opening end, it is Norway with the hammer.
Vanlig da, Lars? Hva? Vanlig?
This is a very experienced Norwegian team, and you can see the good numbers that they have posted in round-robin play. They're going to be tough today.
Well, no one is... None of the team have less than 5 appearances. I mean, this is the 6th appearance for Trulsen, 7th for Voberg, 8th for Davinger, 6th for Ramsfeld.
You're not going to fool Paul. He's very experienced in ice reading. That's one of the things that Ray talked about yesterday when we were watching the women play. It's great ice. There's sometimes some tricks, and if you've got that experience, it's not going to catch you if the ice makes a little change.
Well, when you go to the quiet tap-backs and the light half-weight shots, it definitely requires some knowledge on how to read it, because it does change.
Randy Ferbey in his first.
Looking for the roll. It's amazing how that first come around by Norway, that Yellowstone in position behind the corner guard, just kind of absolutely in the perfect spot, you know, in front of the tee line in the middle of the 8-foot. It just changed this whole end. They didn't get the angle freeze on it that they tried earlier, and so an exchange of stones will force Canada to try and take a single.
Jump it over. And not quite.
Coming into this game, Canada played very well. #1 in the shooting percentages at every position, and started so well every game. First 5 ends, scored tons of points, and then defended the lead very well. Randy Ferbey, +9. That means during round-robin play, 9 games, he was never out-curled by the opposing third. He's had a fabulous week.
He's had an unbelievable year, and we've seen him for so long, but it just seems this year, not only does he quarterback this team and do a great job of that. He just makes everything, too.
Losing just once in round robin. That was in draw 7 to Denmark. And Ulrich Schmidt, it was an 8-7 final with the Danes getting 1 in 10.
You really have to, they're such great brushers, you really have to be careful with the brushes. You can't jump them. They jump them that quickly and then had to wait for it to curl. Both teams have great brushing.
You know, it's pretty typical, Paul. He starts slowly. First 3 games himself, 66%. Then the rest around robin. He boosted those numbers to 85%. And the third, really up and down as well. But Lars came on strongly. 98% was one of his games. Draw weight's the key. Both Paul and Lars, the skip and third, struggled with draw weight. And that's going to be a huge point today. They need to keep those stones in front of the tee line. They need the big come-arounds.
Well, Norway never needs motivation to play Canada. That much I can tell you. They've had some great success against Canada in the years, but they love playing. As Paul says, we just like playing the best, and
Don't like a draw here.
they're the best.
Up to Barry each. Yeah.
Ferbey and the Canadians trying to become the first back-to-back world champions since Don Duguid won 2 in a row in 1970-71.
5 Brier titles for that man, and 2 of them, 2 sets of back-to-back victories, Vic. So he certainly has shown that he can do it at the national level, but it's amazing it hasn't been done more at the world level.
David Nedewin. And his first, trying to roll it over. Good brush, a little bit more, a little more. Well, they'll tuck a piece, but that last little spin on its own brought it back towards the button.
They also got caught a little bit, Vic, because of that tee line. Remember, the brushing rule is different at the world level. And when it spun, they were kind of trading brushes as well, trying to get in there to get it over a little bit further.
You can see the rivalry between the 2 of them. And then, of course, you can remember the Olympics.
And it hasn't been a sweep by anybody. It's been very competitive between the 2 teams.
A rematch of last year's final in Bismarck, but here in the semi, Winnipeg. Final stone, Paul Trulsen.
Come on, Lars. Yeah.
You can just hear the intensity.
Hold it. Bra, Paul.
You know, mechanically, he doesn't look that solid, but arm extension here, not just with the arm, a little extension right there, rolls it out of his fingers. It's got a good soft touch.
And a great result for Norway this end. That first come around, as Ray said, in a perfect spot, have executed beautifully, and now the force. David Nedewin is forced to try and draw for his single.
And they have a practice session, and David would throw in a number of draws.
We saw yesterday that the split time, that's the back line to first hog line, the bottom number was around 4 seconds, and then around 14.5 for the other one.
Piece of the 4.
Oh, hum.
So the Canadians will pick up their single here in the first. To get us going, it's the men's semis of the Ford Worlds in Winnipeg.
Life got simple the day I plugged into the big brown machine. West Coast overnight, done. China, 48 hours, done. Brown picks it all up together and delivers it all on time. And with their global tracking system, I get the proof. It isn't that I'm not a trusting person. Yes, it is.
International Overnight Ground. synchronized. UPS, what can Brown do for you?
Nothing else reflects your personality with such elegance and style. Mirage. Beauty at your feet.
We like watching grass grow at Weedman. We're committed to being the most trustworthy name in lawn care. You can enter to win in the Weedman Cash Sweepstakes for your backyard makeover. Details in the gardening news or by calling your local Weedman dealer. Weedman, trust the professionals.
With ordinary lawn fertilizers, you could be taking a chance. Sure, you get nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium particles, but just how many land exactly where is random. So your lawn could burn. Luckily, there's Scott's Turf Builder, the only fertilizer with a patented all-in-one particle. Each particle has the essential nutrients to feed your lawn evenly, with no burning guaranteed. For a thick green lawn, go with the sure thing. Scott's Turf Builder, and get a better lawn in every bag.
The world's largest hotel chain is almost anywhere you want to go. The world's largest hotel chain tucks you in around the globe. With over 4,000 hotels in over 80 countries, the world's largest hotel chain is Best Western, inviting you to get a good night's sleep. Best Western, the world's largest hotel chain. Call 1-800-WESTERN or visit bestwestern.com.
That restaurant I'm taking you to, whoa, fancy.
Oh, yeah?
But I always say, if it don't fit between two pieces of bread, it ain't fit to eat. And I'm not just a driver. I delivered a baby 2 days ago right where you're sitting. So you're probably meeting some fancy lawyer boyfriend who sniffs a cork before he sends back his beer for having the wrong kind of bubbles. Hey, get a load of this guy. Wouldn't be caught dead in that. Wait, I missed a turnoff. But I can circle around, don't worry. I know the city like the back of the car in front of me.
One Advil. For today's tough pain, one is often enough. Also in extra strength.
Good talking to you.
My name's Peter.
Kyla.
I'm Mike. Just call me D.
You can say I'm pretty shy.
I can be a little gullible.
I'm pretty easygoing.
Little wacky-jacky.
Sometimes I'm lazy.
I'm odd.
Thanks to my wife, I'm a lot more open.
I love my daughters.
I just had a baby.
I sell teddy bears.
I'm a big teddy bear.
I have a boyfriend. I'm single. I'm currently looking. I love people who make me laugh.
Oh, there she goes. Esquire.
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 The 2003 Ford World Curling Championships from Winnipeg, Manitoba are brought to you by Karcher. You'll look for things to clean. By Nokia, official wireless phone of the Season of Champions. And by Ford, built for life in Canada.
There's a few empty seats. You know, if we can be here on time, 8 o'clock start, local start here in Winnipeg for this semifinal. Canada takes one in the first. Norway playing the Yellowstones with the hammer here in 2.
Still not that real hard late, Rich.
No. Freezing?
Yeah, freezing.
That stone is just a little bit deep. Marcel can come down on top of it if they want.
Well, it's kind of interesting to watch the last end because it was that first come around that got into the perfect spot that changed the whole complexion of that end. Now this one is a little deep, so if Marcel can lock one on here, once again, those lead stones will set the style of the game.
Those all-important lead stones. I could just hear that in your voice, right? I thought I'd add that.
A little quiver, eh? Doesn't want to bounce off of this now.
Marcel and his wife, and I guess you could say that's a little rock.
You could.
Wife Raylene. Bent Ramsfeld. You know, we were talking about the Norwegians and their strength when we first got together, remember, back 88, that his brother was playing very well. Before that, Christian Sorum, of course. They went through a little bit of a downtime. The Swedes had that run in the 90s or so, but now Norway and through Trulsen have come back.
Yeah, Paul went to a number of Uniroyals as well, and he's always been a very, very good player. But you're right, they just Norway had that good run with those two teams that you mentioned, Vic. And
half around there.
now they don't have numbers. That's the thing that's a little disappointing as far as I'm concerned. Just don't have the numbers that have been, you know, because of their results. They've had great results with the small numbers. It's amazing. It hasn't grown.
You're seeing the high game, low game for these players, and Vic, you were asking me about that yesterday, and it's interesting to note that the Canadian players had wonderful high games, 99% for Marcel, and their low games were in the 70s, high 70s for three of the players. When you watch the Norwegian team numbers come up, you'll see that 3 of the 4 players had a low game in the 50s, and that's just not the consistency, and that was the slow start that they often have, and I don't know if it's just that they play so many of these, it's a little more difficult to get going. Since the beginning of the week, Norway has been very strong.
Well, let's remember now and remind people that Norway did lose their first 2 games. They started off 0-2. We thought, oh my. But then they got it going. Ended up winning their last round-robin game to avoid any tie-breaking situation. They finished at 5-4. That last game, they beat Finland.
Nice double peel.
Yeah. Oh, you want a garter? No, I don't mind that.
Roll to the outside.
Scott Piper.
Yep. Hard. Hard. Yep. Hard. Real hard. Hard. Gotta go, guys. Hard. Hard, 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 hard. Hard. Hard, 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 hard. Prøver den oppe ved kjuten, så ligger den der. Vanlig.
He's talking about hitting that on the nose and just angle freezing on the outside one.
Trying to make sure he gets it by the Yellowstone back 12-foot area.
Yep, yeah! Free! Free! Whoa, 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 whoa.
He was inside on that one. And it'll jam.
Okay.
The Winnipeg Moose are on the road playing their American Hockey League playoff. They're tied with Portland Pirates 1-1. They'll finish it up tomorrow in Game 3. TSN's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs continues this afternoon with Game 2 of Minnesota and Colorado after the Wild surprised them in Game 1.
Bumper up! Whoa! Bumper up! Whoa! Whoa!
Any kind of weight, run very straight.
I can't take this.
That's not mine.
What's that?
Paul will try and use those 2 at the back now by freezing up to them.
You can see how important to Canada that miss hit by Norway was, driving the Canadian stone at the angle rather than passing it by the Yellow Rock at the back of the 12.
Det är långt. Åh, nej. Nej, 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 nej. Litt lang. Åh!
These two teams met in draw 2 of round-robin play. And that was one of the 2 games that Norway would like to have back. I'm sure didn't play as well as they could.
Ja, men han treffer ikke nesten.
And on the corner. Maybe didn't curl up quite enough for them.
And that's one of the games that Paul Trulsen really didn't play well. 59% to David Nedowin's 88. That was a huge difference. And you saw the final score, 9-3, ended early. And Canada did have pretty good success getting 3-pointers in round-robin play.
8 times, 3 or more. Wow.
Especially at the beginning of the week, they were very strong. If you remember back to the number of time they got 2s and 3s with the hammer, they were very successful.
Cracks everything, and there they go.
Reading having a little chuckle because the way those were lined up, it wasn't
Couldn't
as hard
miss
as it
No,
looked.
no. Those hit got rid of them both.
But it always looks good when those opponents' rocks spill out of the house.
Nowadays, we see more and more often, we see the 3 rocks going, or 4 rocks moving, the way that these top teams control the weight so accurately. To go back in this end a little bit, it was that wonderful double peel by Norway that really changed this end around completely. Canada had a rock frozen on the button. Get the double peel. So that control of big weight is certainly a weapon that if you're a young team out there and you're looking to make a mark in the show at any time, you're going to have to come to the table with that.
Well, we've talked to Ray Linda about where, if you're putting your team together, where you want that weight. Second position, third position, you leave the draw weight, that cut shot for the skip kind of Stone.
You're right, Vic, but you know, really everybody has to have it. Maybe it's not as key with the lead, yet he still has to do some peeling now and again, but everybody kind of has to have it nowadays to really be competitive. The game still comes down to that draw for the skips.
It often does, and did, of course, in the women's semifinal yesterday when Colleen Jones was drawing in the extra end, and the ice was actually very tricky for the 2 skips in that case, and both got caught a little bit.
Well, if you think about it, his gold medal, Kevin Martin had a draw to the 4-foot. I mean, Kevin Martin, who throws the big weight as well as anybody in the world, but it all came down to catching that 4-foot. It's just Kevin's rock just slid a little too far.
Wow. Whoa. Yep.
Bravo. 13-2.
Går det å ha dem så mange ganger, og jo lenger vi med, jo mer press for dem.
Paul has a real terrific attitude. Nothing really upsets him. He can takes a loss well. He, as you mentioned already, Linda, they lost their first 2 games, but he just shook it off in a way they know their own abilities. And
hasn't had a lot of success, though, against Canadian teams. Trulsen is 2 and 6 in his games against Canada at the Worlds.
Same boy. Clean. Clean, clean.
Shot.
Oh, yes.
So a chance to blank and try and hold on to the hammer.
This is the 5th time that Norway has played Canada in a semifinal. Recent memory, Jeff Stoughton was a winner over Ramsfell in '96. Kevin Martin beat Ramsfell in '91, but going back to the late 70s, in '78, Christian Sorum beat Mike Chernoff. Ray, and then in '79, Christian Sorum was again winner over Barry Fry in semifinal play. Shooter will go, and that'll blank this second. So the Norwegians will hold on to the hammer. Canada will hold on to the lead.
Gentlemen, welcome aboard flight 73 with service. Captain has turned off the battery.
Presenting the new 12-inch PowerBook, the world's most compact, full-featured notebook computer. And the new 17-inch PowerBook, the world's first and only 17-inch notebook computer. The new 12 and 17-inch PowerBooks.
the next big and small things from Apple.
You can count on me. I'll always be there. Mirage, at your feet for life.
Right now, it's savings time at a steel dealer near you. Get real power. Steel. Built to last, priced to sell.
The Nokia 7210 phone with available camera headset. The new Pocket Translator. We make multimedia messaging as easy as see, snap, and send. Nokia, connecting people.
It's like the bond between friends and strangers on a Saturday night. We're more or less the working people. We gotta pull together. Life so polite. If you're gonna do it right. Built for life in Canada.
When back pain slows you down, turn to Robaxacet. With 2 active ingredients, one to relieve back pain, the other to relax tense back muscles. It's the brand doctors and pharmacists recommend most, so you can get back in the rhythm. Robaxacet, helping you walk away from back pain.
We really love working the dogs and watching the pups come up in the family. And it's great to be part of the True Value family. Our customers know they can count on us for good sense, good service, and doggone good value.
Try our True Value Easy Care Latex paint for long-lasting coverage, now just $26.97. Save $40 on the 6.5-gallon shop vac for wet or dry pickup, now $79.97. True Value, official hardware supplier to Championship Curling.
The Manitoba legislature here in Winnipeg. Nice to have met and seen Premier Gary Doer a number of times during round-robin play here at the arena. It's time to read the ice now with Ray, and it's brought to you by Ford, built for life in Canada, and compliments to Hans Vutrick and his ice crew.
Well, it's been curling all week and around the center. Once again today, you'll get about 4 feet of curl. It can change a little bit as you go through the game. When you go to the corners to get around for the inside out, once again, lots of late finish, about 4 feet. It varies a little bit on the outside in when you're going around that corner because we have had a little frost out in that area. I don't expect anything in this game. Talk to Hans. He says it looks like it should be great. It's a morning draw. You get some late finish, so you really have to be careful. And yes, we know it runs very straight when you throw weight. Norway, Canada, 2 good ends so far.
The blank in 2 means the Norwegians will hold on to the hammer, playing the Yellowstones 1-0 Canada here in the third.
Center. Sprint line. Wait if you
Nice
can.
hard surface this morning, Linda. You can tell the morning
Center line,
draws
get better. Let's get
just
better.
even the color of the rings. Now we'll see if it, as we move along in the game, and the building is filling up. Vic, you, the Winnipeggers are a little slow getting out of bed this morning, but they're slowly coming
up. Absolutely.
That went sideways also.
They could still be in the patch from last night.
They could be.
This is Winnipeg, you know.
The extra end pub.
Well, they had a couple of rocks in a row, Ray, catch something. In particular, the Yellowstone. It was supposed to be an in-turn come-around. Getting by the Redstone, you see out front on the right-hand side, over-curled that spot because it seemed to be grabbing. That last one also really seemed to go quickly, so we'll keep an eye on the curl in this spot.
Whoa. Waterfall. Whoa. Let's take care. Okay. All right. Come in. Whoa. Let's take care.
Well, that one seemed to have no problem. The come-arounds that seemed to grab, the broom was out a little wider. This is more down the center 4-foot band.
Little down.
Scott Pfeiffer.
Line's good.
We talked about this earlier in the week, but David Netherwin, of course, who throws last and has a great touch.
Hard. Gotta be here. Hard.
Is also a great rusher.
Hard. Far as to go. Come on.
Showing it here, closest to the stone. Marcel Rock out in front.
Hard. Whoa.
And just a little like, wouldn't you expect, or is it, doesn't it stand to reason morning draws, colder, ice would be just a little bit straighter in the morning draw?
Can be a little bit, yeah, without the frost in particular. But one thing we haven't seen, Linda, we mentioned this all week, we haven't seen the speed change a lot, and there's been no flattening out. Remember last night, Colleen's draw and Doherty's draw in that in-turn draw across the slide path. Usually late in the game, you're expecting to be a little bit of fudging in that area, but boy, they really slid. Right out of his hand, Scott was light. You heard David say a little down, and
Fleming Downinger.
Those stones out in front, though, are dangerous. Good stones for Canada to use. That's why Norway is trying to hit and roll over.
yeah, that's the part of the game, Vic, that really has become so obvious now. The teams don't like to lose control of that area right in front of the rings. Control zone, we call it.
Canadian stone is punched now over on the left-hand side. Could be used possibly a little later if Canada needs it.
Trying to run the only red one left out in front.
Finish.
Run it back and by. This is our first morning, of course, here at the arena. Well, not really. Sorry, Linda.
For some of us, we've had a morning earlier in the week.
Yes, you did. I forgot that you and Kathy Gauthier did do the first draw when we were held up by the weather. But I wonder if, because we've been here most afternoons and nights, if we'll see anybody put their brush on the divider. Will there be that much curl in a morning draw?
I'm thinking probably not, Vic, unless the building does warm up a bit. You're right that it is cooler in the morning. The ice is just a little bit different.
Scott wasn't happy with that run back, that's for sure. And what Paul wants to do is split these a little bit, get them away from the spot they're in.
Okay. Man.
He's got an opportunity. He has last rock.
Okay, left. Ikke lang nå. Ja, den lang. Den ned. Da den ned mot 10. Hva? Topp 4. Ballong. Jeg løser det. 8. Bra spill. Bra blanding. Gotta get that top right. Well, you can get either, but
another semifinal featuring Switzerland and Finland. The Swiss with the hammer blanked the first, and this is the Swiss skip from St. Gallen, Ralph Steckley, the '97 World Junior Champion, playing Finland, and Markku Jussi-Pavoniemi from Helsinki, a two-time bronze medalist, making his sixth straight appearance at the World Championships.
Yep.
Drawing against a couple.
Wants the top one in the roll, what he's looking for.
Nice shot.
And they couldn't save it. The Swiss scored one in the second.
Not looking good for the Canadians at this point.
Så det? Rett foran. Rett foran, meter foran? Ja. Hva er det for meg da? 05? Ja. Det kan det. Det er noe med kosten her oppe.
Lars Voberg.
99.
So far, it's great positioning of the stones by Norway that is causing Canada the problem. Stones are being kept in front of the tee line. They're getting good curl around guards.
So you'll see the end of the second round of the Masters as well as the third. And Mike Weir on top of the leaderboard when they wound up play yesterday. He played through 12. And oh boy, you can see now they're back on course. Obviously, it's changed. He's through 16 and still leading now. Mickelson, the lefties are back to back, leading atop the board.
Tried to get them all.
Doing some bailing here, the Canadians in the third.
It was a good shot, but he really thought he could get them all. Still a great chance for Norway to tuck around the guard, top of the 8-foot. There's the indication by Paul. Give it half around those long guards. Check the back one. Looking for his deuce.
94. Det er bra fart.
I talked about the importance of getting draw weight early in this game, especially for Norway, who struggled a little bit in round-robin play with that weight. This is a great kind of end to get the feel for the weight and the curl.
Farten er der. Nedpå. Jeg stopper før. Nei, jeg stopper før.
Han kan bare stoppe. Til Lars.
Sitt da. Det er bra.
Well, you just mentioned it, they're getting their stones in some pretty nice spots.
Yeah, man, freezes here, I guess not worse. Or we do this.
Yeah, you make the hit and roll off of that after. If he makes the hit and roll after, we're in trouble.
Yeah, I know.
Freeze the hit.
Hit and roll? I don't mind the freeze. Everything freezing in there is real good.
Yep. It's up to you.
You ever chop off, you're giving them hit and roll in behind. Hit and roll's not easy either. We might just use the
Keeping them for two ain't bad.
Even that front one and missing both too.
No, you don't. Yeah, you're right. Oh, well, we can play the freeze right in the nose.
The red one way over to the side is the only rock that's sort of clear. The other red stone out in front is overlapped. You can't use that. They followed through the sequence because it looks to most people, Vic, I think that you would play the hit on shot stone and roll over. If you didn't get the perfect roll, there would be a chance that Norway could hit it and roll back under cover even better. So this is trying to set up a rocking position, hoping with their last one they can make use of this stone.
Now, they covered that when they talked about it. They said, you know, if we don't get the perfect roll, we could really be in trouble. Because the one is so well covered by the front stones.
David Netherwind in his first. Trying to take it right down on the face now.
That'll work.
Good shot.
Pretty good. Huh? That's pretty good. Not too bad. Yeah.
That worked out well.
Can they get across the face possibly to push it back, or is it just too well made?
No, it's perfect. They can't get across the face.
Oh, it went real good. Boy, give up.
That's how much they can see, Vic. That's why the broom is being held in front of that red stone. They can just fully see the whole thing.
Dra dit. Har de dobbel hvis du drar dit? Nei, ikke hvis du drar dit.
Det går vel ikke, tror du? Kom på innsida her.
Det er sånn imellom. Nei, risiko er at vi sitter rett bak her. Vi gir bort slotten vår på det. Ja. Så sikrer han det.
Ja, vi slår opp der, da. Nei, da slår han bare inn på seg, så dokker han.
Det er litt artig. Men det er fint, da.
Ja. Bak her, da, hvor det er på?
Her, da.
Det kommer ikke på innsida, tror jeg. Det er to muligheter. Nei, vi drar rundt. Men
the shot worked out pretty well for Canada. As you can see it from the end. It's a good look at it right there. So they're going to play. They're going to play the come around with the out turn here. In turn, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Or he leaves
around there.
Or we can get two.
Try and get.
What? 3/4 of rock.
Ta lite, den blir lite öppen.
I don't see why we wouldn't.
You can hear Canada talking about what they can do with that redstone. They just froze into position. It can be run into those other two, and you could get a roll. So it's really important where Paul actually has this one land.
Paul Trulsen and his first.
Good split.
Ikke sånn fryser da.
Boy, they ran straight.
That's a great example of a person throwing with an arm extension, though. We got the same interval that first time you saw the 4-second mark, but the other split, the hog-to-hog, was shorter. That means that arm extension, he adds a little speed right at the end of the interval. And that's why you have to get that split time, Vic, for every player, so you know what that means for their particular delivery.
Where do you like ice?
Does that arm extension also add to the fact that it might run just a little straighter?
It can, Vic. It really depends on the actual release as well, but it can.
And it can. They jumped on that quickly, too, because of the weight. And that ran straight down there. It didn't finish for them.
And just to explain, there's nothing wrong with the arm extension. It's actually something we teach. It just shows you that the timing has to be taking that into consideration.
Dave will try and sit right on top of this now.
Slip just behind the tee line. Back 4. Final stone for the Canadians.
Still 8. Whoa, 9.
8-9 is tapping weight. Too much weight.
And that's what they'll do. Tap it, and it'll leave the Norwegians lying 2.
I think I threw that much harder. Because we were cleaning it too.
So a chance for 3 for Norway.
And a very well-played end by Norway. They positioned the rocks very, very well. Yes, there was some mistakes by Canada, but great come-arounds by the Norwegians.
2 or 3 ends in a row, they've really put their stones in great spots. So.
Kicked up right away by Ramsfell and Davinger.
A big extra point. You could see the time was a little bit slower, but they can drag it there.
They sure did for 3. Norway picks up the triple here in the 3rd.
Ah, Nova Scotia, an unforgettable place where saltwater cities, living history, and legendary hospitality meet. A place with 7,400 kilometers of coastline dotted with charming seaside towns. A place that really swings. More than just a vacation, this is Nova Scotia, Canada's seacoast. Contact us today for your free vacation guide.
Oh, sorry.
Fatty. What a loser.
Morning, Leo. What's for lunch?
Most adults couldn't handle what some kids go through. Help protect kids against abuse. Join the Bell Walk for Kids to support Kids Help Phone.
It's showtime!
When you believe in yourself, got a full scholarship, I'm doing something with my life.
There's no limit to how far you can take it.
I'm about to bring it like you ain't never heard. I can help you out with a couple of them dance moves. 2, 3, pop.
Feel the beat of the Drumline coming to DVD and video.
That's what I'm talking about!
Drumline. Own it tomorrow.
I just thought I had a little something on the end.
Okay, guys.
get this bird put away, and we're done for the day.
With a new available Power Stroke diesel, 5-speed automatic torque shift transmission, and the most torque and horsepower of any diesel pickup, F-Series Super Duty goes way beyond just getting the job done. F-Series, the best-selling truck on the planet, is built Ford tough.
We came here for the rivers and mountains. Penny's our gardener. She's blooming smart, naturally. Folks come in, we know what they need. Drop by for some advice. I'll show you how to tie a fly.
Tap the button to hold open and nudge to release. The touch and hold, a revolution in door closers, $12.97. Save $40 on this half-horsepower jet pump, now $229.97. Or with 20-liter tank, $329.97. True Value, official hardware supplier to Championship Curling.
You already know these uses for your Karcher. Here's a few you might not have thought of. The hat rack. The shower. The centerpiece. The chandelier. You can always use a Karcher.
The 2003 Ford World Curling Championships from Winnipeg, Manitoba are brought to you in part by Robaxaset, helping you walk away from back pain.
Updating the other semifinals, Switzerland and Finland. The Swiss scored 1 in the second with the hammer. That's Ralph Steckley. And the Finnish skip, Markku Jussi-Paavoniemi from Helsinki, two-time bronze medalist in the World Championships. Finished with a record of 7-2. And his final stolen in the third. Angle it back. Oh, then the double jam, and it'll leave the Swiss flying 1. They'll steal, lead 2-0, going to 4.
Aku, valmiina harjaamassa siellä.
So for only the second time this week, the Canadians give up a 3. The only other time was against Switzerland in round-robin play.
Well, it looked 2 all the way. They had an early pick with Marcel Rockstone, but a great. David just threw a little too much weight on his and sat out there. So the Norwegians have a way of taking advantage, and Paul Trulsen's been around a long time, and
no line. Whoa, we're all there.
This will be a game.
Whoa, no bump.
Norway put the stones into the house and saying to Canada, you're going to have to make some good shots. Try and use your corner guard if you can. Otherwise, we're going to keep the play in the middle, in the rings.
That was too strong. They were looking just to come down in the face of that.
Fleming Davinger. In far enough, and it does.
Why go around the guard?
In women's play, Colleen Jones had to go to an extra end to beat Norway and Doherty Nordby. So she's on to the gold medal game, and she'll play the United States winners over Sweden. And updating what's happening in the bronze medal game, also on the ice this morning, Sweden and Annette Norberg pick up 1 in the third. Doherty Nordby, Norway with the hammer playing 4.
Really looking for they were looking for a little roll behind that guard.
Go on, little again. Whoa, mate! Better pack, pull pad. Right.
And behind the corner.
Well, he was a little bit outside, and they left that, but they didn't brush it either at the end when it started to go, and that rolled farther than they wanted.
In-turn come around.
Canada with the hammer in the fourth, down 3-1. Scott Pfeiffer.
I finally got caught, eh? You hear what I said?
Now I know because you told me the left-hander, so it's not the in-turn.
Good.
Out turn come around for Scott. I thought the minute I said that, she was just, but you know, she swivels that head around, you know.
But he says, I finally got caught, like it's the first time.
It's like the first time today.
It's like I've been perfect up till now.
It's the first time today, that's all I can tell you.
Yep.
Hit and roll across the rings. Double is there. Sit on top of it.
Yep. Three. Whoa. 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 Amen. Whoa. Amen. Amen.
Well, I've talked about how well Canada has done all year getting deuces with the hammer. That's 2 or more points every time they have that last rock. During this round robin, Canada, 54% of the time they had the hammer, they got 2 or more. By far the first in this field. Norway at 38%. And you can see over the years, Canada getting better and better at converting with the hammer.
Get this one back a little further now.
The Norwegians jumped that stone Voberg right away. Is that something that they're going to, both teams are going to have to be, or recognize that you can't take the stone early just because you're going to straighten it up?
No, Vic, it was just that they misread the ice because they thought it was going to curl. He was a little inside, so they jumped on it because they thought the line wouldn't be there. And so it didn't react the way they thought. You were right, the brushing can impact it that way. They just didn't get a good read on it.
No, I think that's a great observation, Vic. I think both teams are going to have to be careful because they're such strong brushing teams, both of them, and you can definitely make a difference. Randy has something caught in his eye. Was that, did he have a piece of something in his eye?
All there. Still 7. Just for line. Wait till 7. Wait's real good. Maybe 8. True.
Nice shot. Boy, that slid, didn't it?
It's gliding.
Yeah, I know. We're over calling. Just wait. It's sliding better than you guys think it is. Yeah.
That's the impact of the brushing, too, that I talked about in the ice times, that although you get a time without brushing at 14.5 seconds hog to hog, for example, a 15-second stone can be dragged on this ice.
A real good freeze here can take this away from Canada. Got to make it now.
Whoa! Whoa! Yeah! 3! I know, punch. Okay, da tar vi puffen nå. Gå, blir det fint. Det blir noe fare. Det blir noe fare. Nå blir Lars.
Voberg right down on top.
Lovely shot.
And line one, certainly, maybe 2. Norway without the hammer here in 4. Whose responsibility then is it, Linda? Is it the thrower to pull back a little bit, give it to the brushers, or the brushers to be better in their judgment?
That's a combination, Vic. You're right. You can't overthrow it, so Randy here has to make sure he doesn't drive too hard from the hack. And now you'll see the brushers take a long look at it with this ice being so fast before they really get going. 7, that zone number they're talking about, is a T-line shot.
7. Yep, a little bit. We're there. We're there. Yep, yep. We're there. Hard. Oh, that's good.
Kalai's shot.
The Ferbey team call out the time zones to communicate where the stone will land. That's the brushers calling out the numbers, the 3 numbers in front of the rings. 4 is top 12, moving to T-line number 7, and a back line is a 10. And 11 up is like a half weight.
Only you could do is be buried a little more, because that's where you wanted it. Always.
Skal vi gått litt hardere, kanskje?
Nei, skal du ikke gå hardere?
Så vi må ta med en gang, altså.
It'd be interesting to see the curl on this one, because the amount of curl earlier did catch them by surprise.
Yeah.
Davinger and Ramsfell on Trulsen's first. Big scrub, get it by the guard, no!
He uses the arm extension, and sometimes when he does, and I've watched him throw for a lot of years, actually I worked with them when they were young, very, very young. And just looks like he, sometimes he gets them going, Linda. And that was right out of his hand. Almost perfect.
I do think, though, the one closer to center caught them by surprise running straighter, so maybe he tightened the ice, and not even the body English on that one could help get it by.
Then we give a double roll.
Set. Here.
I don't mind coming
Get our deuce right now.
Get
the
the
only way
deuces.
you miss it is by hanging straight. I mean, you get the 3/4 is going down in the back, right? Yeah, then there's a chance for a bigger end, obviously. If you tap this, or just here. We know the line.
Yeah.
What's right? It's only a point.
What happens if we go here? He's trying to pick that. He might still clip it on the way by. And then we gotta...
Chances are he's not going to.
No, but he might, because we're guaranteed 2 by going over here. As long as we're in the top of the house.
He'll be following it. He'll be hitting this one here, I would think.
What's that?
The one that you throw. We're trying to. But you come a little deep, you give him the double again.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gotta be
But we go here and he hits and jams it there, then we got this for 3 as well.
That's true. Either or is not a bad call.
I want to make sure we get 2.
Yeah. Oh, go to see what they like.
Well, if we're going to do this, I don't mind moving this one back to that then. Yeah. Because then
you're getting your deuce.
Just he still makes the double and we're only getting 1.
Well, he won't be able to make the double though.
Well, if we bump it right to there, here, and then he just blasts it straight on the nose.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no matter where you put the rock, you might, I mean, you come here, you give him a double.
Well, there you don't give him a double because he comes off this and it jams.
Either or. It's got to be perfect no matter what you do.
Great deal of respect for that man. Paul Trulsen knows the angles very well, so Canada taking a lot of time to talk about the positioning of their rocks.
What do you like? There? They both want to go there.
I'd go to the other side if it was
Whatever
me.
you want, Randy. Doesn't matter.
I go in here.
Okay, then.
Or the one I just showed you.
Brennan wanted to go the way Ray has showed you with the big arrow, but it's Randy saying he wants to go on top of the other red rock.
I don't mind bumping ours back if we have to line it dead onto theirs. Eh? Yeah, all line. We'll listen to you guys.
Seven, maybe 8. 7.
David Nedouin at his first.
Hard.
Coming down just a little bit now. Picked up by Pfeiffer and Rock, huffing and puffing, trying to just bump it back, trying to set themselves up maybe for 2, trying to tap it back, got to get it there though. Little more, and it'll come up a little light.
Oh, I don't know. That slowed down. Is that rock slower or something or what?
I think you pinched it a little. You think he pushed? I thought he pinched it.
By that they mean they thought David maybe pulled a little bit of weight off the release point.
Men gå på innsiden. På innsiden? Ja, der er det at den sitter her da. Med rykker bak der også.
Canadians really did roll through this. We mentioned the one loss. That was to Denmark when Ulrich Schmidt scored 1 in 10 to win it. That was their first loss. We figured out, I think it was 27 games, if I remember correctly, dating back to the Northern Alberta Playdowns in January.
For the double in the roll.
Eller så kan også vi har toeren nå. Drar vi en toeren på andre siden, så vi...
You have to be careful not to jam on the yellow one, the one at the back of the 8-foot.
Det bedre å køle for mye enn for lite, altså. 12.
Final stone for Norway, and Trulsen, boy, did he get it started again. Ramsfeld, Tavinger, by the long one, and they'll squeeze one out. Slow start for the gold medal winner in Salt Lake. But then won 6 of his last 7. And the big win was over Finland to avoid falling back into a potential tie-break situation with Sweden and Scotland.
I think he definitely got that one started. Not really close to the line they wanted at all. And so that one Canadian stone is left as shot rock, and it's a draw for 2.
David questioning that stone, the first one he just threw, questioned the stone about, because he really felt that they called out 8, they called out 7, and you can see how it really dug in. And
Gotta go. Hard there. Yeah, here, hard.
Looking for the 2 that would tie it here, and they're taking it all the way. Brock and Pfeiffer, Huffman and Puffman. They need 8. Here comes Ferbey. Drag it, drag it, drag it.
who made that? Right out of his hand. Right out of his hand. They huffed and puffed it all the way down the sheet. You look at this, boy, I'll tell you, those big, wide-headed hairbrushes, and that maybe got out a little wee bit, and we might have a little bit of frost sneaking in, but boy, I tell you, they just dragged this. Right at this point here, it looks like it's going to die. It's almost like they sped it up a little bit. That is brushing at its best.
They need full 8. Sneak it by, and far enough for 2 here in the 4th. You deserve it. Let's meet the teams, and throwing the lead stones for Norway, Bent Ramsfeld. Marcel Rock for Canada. The second, Swimming Davinger and Scott Pfeiffer. Throwing the third stones, Norway's Lars Boberg, Canada's Randy Ferbey. And the fourth stones, Norway's Paul Trulsen and David Nedewin for Canada here at the Ford Worlds.
Seems like only yesterday Elaine and I started out. The town grew and we right alongside. Now the kids are helping out. You don't stay in business this long without knowing a thing or two.
Sims brush and roller sets for your painting needs, $7.97 each set. Make unpleasant jobs easy with fantastic all-purpose cleaners, now just $3.47. Choose from Fergale's Yacht Mop, Broom, or Dustpan, $2.97 each. True Value, official hardware supplier to Championship Curling.
Being authentic makes such a difference. Mirage. Originality at your feet.
I thought dating again would be tough.
He's cute. Is he younger than me?
Just for men hair color. The Rejuvenator gets rid of gray hair in 5 easy minutes for a younger, natural look.
Would you like to come in?
Just for men.
When back pain slows you down, turn to Robaxacet with 2 active ingredients, one to relieve back pain, the other to relax tense back muscles. It's the brand doctors and pharmacists recommend most, so you can get back in the swing. Robaxacet, helping you walk away from back pain.
It's bred for European tastes, but built for North American desires. With a seductive, ergonomic design, provocative performance, responsive power, sexy, low-profile wheels, eye-popping color view, and superb handling in tight corners. Not to mention driveways, decks, and even those silly motor cars. The Karcher high-pressure washer. You really have no options.
Oh, would you look at that? Oh, gee. Wow. Don't make eye contact.
The 2003 Ford Taurus SEL comes with a power moonroof, 6 CD player, leather seating, and power adjustable pedals. In fact, it's so comfortable inside.
Does anyone want to get out?
Not me.
No, I'm hunky-dory. All right. I'm thinking we should look for a drive-thru.
I can eat. You won't want to go outside.
Hey, folks, remember that movie, Christine? You know, the one about the car that went around killing people? Turns out she had an automotive.
This wisecrack was brought to you by Standard Auto Glass. With over 40 years of experience when it comes to windshields, cracks are no joke. And when we replace your windshield, it's guaranteed for life, as long as you own your car. For serious windshield care, call the experts. Call Standard Auto Glass at 1-800-800-2727.
We have seen plenty of sunshine here in Winnipeg this week at the Ford World. Straight weather. We thought we might see some tiebreakers, but with Norway's win over Finland, 4 teams finished clear of everyone else in the 10-team field. The other semifinal featuring Switzerland and Finland. You see the Swiss scored one with the hammer, then stole one against the Finnish champions and Marko Jussi-Pavoniemi. That 98 bronze medal was the first ever medal won by a Finnish team in the World Championships. And the angle double doesn't work, and it's a steal of 1 more for Switzerland. And a 3-0 lead for Ralph Steckley. Canada gets 2 in the 4th, so we're all even 3-3 as we go to the 5th in this men's semifinal. Here at the arena in Winnipeg, Norway playing the Yellowstones with the hammer.
Well, we were privy to an interesting conversation during the break. First of all, the Canadians talked about the Stones, and Marcel and Scott talked to David about David felt that maybe he had Stones that were a little different in speed, but Marcel said, no, I think he threw them both the same. And then they had the conversation, Vic, Paul Trulsen and Randy Ferbey want to see whether this is in or not.
They can measure that under rules, of course, with the free guard zone and 4 rock rules. The 3rd stone at the end can be measured to see if it's in the rings, because, of course, you could play a yellow-red combination there if you're Norway and try and remove that rock if it is in the circles.
Well, you're mentioning the conversation that Paul and Randy had. It was just about the crowd, because Paul was very impressed. And whether, in fact, you saying it just, you wouldn't have just, you'd have just basically the umpires in Norway.
And then they talked a little bit about the round-robin game where Randy had said he thought the Norwegians were playing a little possum. And so he said, Paul said, well, you're playing a little possum yourself maybe today, but this isn't the game to play possum.
Not today. Winner moves on, loser plays for bronze. Paul was also saying that he'd hope to make it to Saskatoon next year for the Nokia Brier. He's always wanted to go to one of those events, a Canadian men's champion, just as a tourist.
Not a bad crowd for 8 o'clock, eh?
Well, it's pretty good.
It's better than Norway anyway.
Better than Norway?
Yeah.
Norwegians would be more. You'd have more people in Norway come out 8 o'clock in the morning.
Curling?
Yeah, to watch. Yeah, more people. Yeah.
Maybe the umpire has been. Maybe. Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
Lights rugged. Just throw 8.
Yep. They're expecting sellouts for the two finals, 10,200 approximately, as they sold the lower bowl seats here at the arena in Winnipeg.
Nice shot by Canada, that yellow stone too deep. Remember earlier we were saying how well Norway placed those stones top 8. Yes, they were buried and not too far, because then any freezes means that Canada's only in the 12-foot, but that one makes it a little tougher for Norway.
Not only is he a good curler, Paul Trulsen, he loves the game and he loves the activities around the sport. He would be great at a Briar, I'll tell you.
Yep. Yeah. Free. Galina. Free.
Okay.
Good.
Next Friday, it's called Friends First, the story of Team Schmerler and the 4 remarkable women who won Olympic gold in curling. Friends First, next Friday, 8 Central on CTV.
Yep. Hard. Real hard. Whoa. Yep. Hard.
Tap back. Rolled a little too far.
Some of them in.
They were so successful in that third end of over-curling the frozen stone a little bit, getting a good angle on the yellow to red situation. That's what they're looking for here.
Yeah.
You have to give them great credit for their brushing, too. Good communication. It's not exactly what they wanted, but the brushers were communicating very well about the speed of that rock.
Yeah. So, bumper?
Have to be a little careful.
Benton,
I want to rub ours.
Fleming, doing the work on those rocks.
A little bit more, Dave. Get it out of there. Okay.
They can get rid of them both.
What are we doing?
Get it out.
How do we?
Bumper weight on this shot right here. Catch that one.
Oh. Bumper up. Oh. Yep. Bumper up. Yep.
Randy Ferbey.
Bumper up. Oh. Lots of weight. Oh, David.
Take that one. Yeah, it didn't curl at the end.
Hard. Takes it off the pace.
Hard.
Norway continues to lie 1.
Never came back there.
Oh, not bad.
No. Oh, no, I just get it out of there.
Neither skip really positive about some of those hits. And we talked about before, as soon as you change the speed a little bit different on the hit, hack weight to normal weight, the rock does react differently. And I think both of them are getting caught a bit.
Holdt igjen, ja. 60 også.
Det er lange.
Den er holdt igjen, så ikke så gæren.
Wow.
En liten puff. Bakkant 8. Bakkant 8, ja.
Aldri.
Stopper litt nå. Bakkant 4. Køler.
Nei.
Bare litt over T-line. T-line nå.
Bra.
Ok. Bra spilt.
Blast, you jammed that yellow.
I know.
You know, they were all number one coming in at those shooting percentages.
Freeze on there.
Scott would not be as pleased, and even
Freeze
Randy
the
wouldn't be
inside.
as pleased with those numbers when they come in the
Freeze on there,
80%
Dave.
range.
Okay.
And the middle two, Lars and Fleming, great numbers. Bent and Paul in the 60s, and they'll want to bring those numbers up.
But going back to that third, when they scored their 3, everything they made seemed to be perfect.
They all executed perfectly that end. You're right, Dick. The last end, Paul really didn't throw either of his hits very well.
Cruising down on top of this.
For line. 5, 6. Oh, 6. Oh, that's good. 6.
Whoa, right off then. Just for line. No. Weight's good. Line's good.
2 hits.
Line's good, clean. Oh, let it curl. Ball.
2
Yeah,
hits.
yeah,
Little bump,
yeah.
little bump.
Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh. Maybe not.
Still a little bump.
Yep.
Little tap,
Yep.
little tap, little
Yep.
tap.
Good.
There's 2 difficulties for Norway. The lineup of those stones is not as good for them. They haven't gotten the angles they wanted, yellow onto red. And also, we're playing in a very closed area to try and score another point. In that button 4-foot area, everything's closing down for them.
Nå trekker den på inn her. Ta den da.
Nei, det for tidlig.
You see him looking at all the positions of those stones, trying to figure out a way to get another one into that button area. First, they're going to guard.
Playing the guard, yeah. That rock on the edge of the 8-foot on the other side can come into play. It's pretty flat, but
Hold it in, hold it in. Hvordan stopper den så?
Lars Voberg.
Stopp litt nå. Det er litt tregere nå, altså. Er det?
Jeg bare vet ikke hvor lurt det er, altså. Vi får et voldsomt trøbbel med å få den. Særlig hvis man gjør den der.
Ja, det var veldig rødt.
Well, so 11 there, they're up, Barb. Oh, he can't play it on guard, bro. He's good shot.
Cover up.
Sorry.
It's another one of those reasons, Ray, where you and I always talk about guarding when you have the hammer, and the fact that that long guard, if this shot is made, that angle red onto shot stone, then you've got not a great chance to get back into that area on the other side because you've guarded that side of the sheet.
David Netherwin. Here in 5 with Norway lying 1 in a 3-3 tie. Brock and Pfeiffer. Little in off. And too thin, and it's still Norway lying 1.
it was pretty flat and hit a little thicker.
Just another one of those cases where they're that fraction of an inch off. It curled more than they thought, the brushing didn't hold it, and just needed to touch that yellow one, really.
Paul's going to try and get this in with his out turn, and he has to be careful.
Ja,
That
det holder fint, det. Altså, holder vi den i gang, så det går fint.
Føler ikke like mye, men jeg tror
doesn't
jeg
put
må
him
ha
in a
den
spot where he needs some kind of a
Jeg er
double.
nødt til å komme bak på.
Fin finish på den.
Trulsen in his first.
Kort den. Ja! Var det bort? Wow, kom inn nå! Wow, kom igjen! Ja!
Diving now to stone just outside the 12-foot. Davinger. Ramsfeld.
Kom igjen nå!
Big brush. Sneak it by. And it'll come up light. Still Norway lying 1.
It had the perfect line.
You think it's even there?
Oh, heck yeah.
Oh, it's not going to take our own out?
Well, you could if you hit it too thin.
Does he have that?
That? Oh, I see. It's 11. You can get there. Just push it in. And then it takes away this as well.
You gotta throw a little bit away so we roll off it, though, eh?
Yeah, I know. It's gotta be 11 so we roll. Oh, yeah.
You only have to touch it.
Yeah, I like it. Okay.
It's up to you.
Okay.
Just has to touch it, you heard him say.
You got something off that yellow, you think?
No, not looking at him here. Not really.
Just touching this one. You want to roll away from there. You want to leave it there.
Shooter, Marty.
You can't.
That's actually the toughest part because you could play this as quietly as possible to get the curl by the guard to get the touch on the red, but not only do you have to push the red far enough, you don't want to leave the shooter there, so that does make it a little more difficult.
That's why the weight call, you can't leave the shooter there. That's the one thing you can't do.
Oh, 11 up. Whoa, right off. Curl.
Very close, guys.
Just a touch.
Curl.
Just a touch. Like that.
Try.
Far enough?
Nice try. No.
Not quite.
Too much almost.
Boy, that was close. Just has to come a little bit more. You can see it's trying to get up that line.
Oh, get on under that.
Just right there, and it just touches it, but
You have to wonder if you're David and the team, if the second half will go a little bit better as far as being on that right fraction of an inch. Everything just a tiny bit off, it seems, in this first half.
Hvor fart er det du spiller nå?
Jeg må jo spille den bare, jeg må spille bakkant da.
Ja, bare
Jeg
tappe den
skal jo
inn.
slå den dit bare.
Ja, den.
80.
That first draw by Norway just coming a little short. David not able to push as far enough means there is still a raise for Norway for their second point.
Trying to angle back the stone that he just threw with his first one that came up a little light. Final stone then here in the fifth of a 3-3 tie. Paul Trulsen.
he has a nice touch. And that was a great release of that out turn. He throws, I think, better than his in turn.
Angle it back far enough. Little rub and roll.
Beautiful.
Court two. You're right, no possum today. And David Nedwin frustrated with the way the first five have gone for Canada.
Yep, yep. Whoa. Whoa.
We talk about the front ends. Brock and Pfeiffer for Canada. Two good ones here, great judges. And that little rub and the roll for two, and Norway will have the lead as we go to the fifth end break.
The world's largest hotel chain is almost anywhere you want to go. The world's largest hotel chain tucks you in around the globe. With over 4,000 hotels in over 80 countries, the world's largest hotel chain is Best Western, inviting you to get a good night's sleep. Best Western, the world's largest hotel chain. Call 1-800-WESTERN or visit bestwestern.com.
The Nokia 7210 phone with available camera headset. The new Pocket Translator. We make multimedia messaging as easy as see, snap, and send. Nokia, connecting people.
Imagine making your lifelong dream a reality. Whirlpool proudly sponsors extraordinary Canadian women athletes who dare to pursue their dreams. Curlers like 2002 Canadian champion Colleen Jones, Janique Berthelot, Jennifer Jones, Manitoba provincial champion, and their teams. Just imagine what you can do. Whirlpool.
You already know these uses for your Karcher. Here's a few you might not have thought of. The hat rack. The shower. The centerpiece. The chandelier. You can always use a Karcher.
It's like the bond between friends and strangers on a Saturday night. We're more or less the working people. We gotta pull together. Life built for life. This is the life. If you're gonna do it right. Built for life in Canada.
They say football is a game of inches. I wish we had inches.
The Scott Tournament of Hearts, proud sponsor of women's curling for 22 years.
The 2003 Ford World Curling Championships from Winnipeg, Manitoba are brought to you by Nokia, official wireless phone of the Season of Champions. By Karcher, you'll look for things to clean. And by Ford, built for life in Canada.
Union Station here in Winnipeg. We're in the fifth end break. Norway with a 5-3 lead over Randy Ferbey and Linda. Ferbey not a good comeback team in world play, at least. 1 win and 3 losses when he's trailed after 5.
And it's been a great first 5 for Norway. They have executed so well. If we look back to what I said both of these teams should do to try and win this game, well, I think Norway's doing a lot of those things very well. Canada first. Well, I said continue the great shot making. They have not executed as we know they can. And I also thought a good start was important. Remember, they had the hammer to start this game. In the first 5, they just haven't scored, obviously, the way they wanted to. Randy Ferbey, he has been dominant all week. He's playing well, but he can boost that as well. So what did Norway have to do? Look at, they're doing it so well. Build on the late round confidence. They were playing so well, 94% in that last game of round robin play, and find the draw weight early. And maybe that was the key in my mind. The great early come arounds, the stones in front of the tee line, and buried set up that first 3.
Well, it started right in the very first end. They got the rocks in the right place, and Canada had fought back. David gets a nice deuce in 4. I'll tell you who got it, though. That front end really banged this one down. You can see here's the situation in the house, and David gets a chance to play the draw to the 4-foot for the extra point to tie the game up. And right out of his hand, these guys jump on it. Take a look at this, and they hammer it all the way. Coming across the hog line, I really thought he was light, but this is a good example of how you can carry your stone in this last 6-7 feet. Boy, I tell you, they're really hammering it. And he gets it there, gets it to the full 8-foot, top of the 4-foot for the deuce. Now, one of the things you hate is you worked hard to get back in the game and you tie it up, and then in the 5th end, you give the deuce back. David took a little chance by trying to nudge that shot over and left the raise for Paul Trulsen, and I'll tell you, he makes those fine shots. He's tough. This will be, the second half of this game will be very, very interesting.
Trying to figure out just what's going wrong. The Canadians are down by 2.
Remember what your wife told you. Yeah, that one. Cotton nails. Softness you'll notice.
With its new Power Stroke diesel and 5-speed automatic torque shift transmission, The Ford F-Series Super Duty pulls faster and easier than any other diesel pickup. Ford F-Series, the best-selling truck on the planet.
Well, guess that settles that.
Yep. Built Ford tough.
Dandruff making you lose your head? New Garnier Fructis Anti-Dandruff Shampoo. A new force in dandruff control. It's proven. Helps eliminate dandruff flakes after the first wash. New Garnier Fructis Anti-Dandruff Shampoo. Garnier.
McCain low-fat fries. Any good?
Good. Mom, the first time we tried them naked.
Naked?
Yeah, you know, without anything on. You gotta try it. It's the only way Frank eats them.
Honey, is that any shampoo you're using? Because it smells like, oh, Mean Gene. Didn't know you were here.
McCain low-fat fries. So delicious you should try them first with nothing on. No salt, no vinegar.
I think she really likes me.
Of course she does.
You wish.
I thought dating again would be tough.
He's cute. Is he younger than me?
Just for Men hair color. The Rejuvenator gets rid of gray hair in 5 easy minutes for a younger, natural look.
Would you like to come in?
Just for men.
Rock of all ages. CD Plus rocks you with the best of the new and the best of the old. Including Good Charlotte, the Daredevil soundtrack, Audio Slave, Kazzer, Evanescence, and the Essential series. Digitally remastered career-spanning collections of essential artists like The Clash, Bob Dylan, Ozzy Osbourne, Heart, Santana, and many more. For a location nearest you or to shop online, visit cdplus.com.
Curling. With every game played, your contact to the world expands. With over 1 million participants utilizing 1,100 clubs across the country, curling is an entertaining, social way to stay active. Play for fun, play to win, or just come out and enjoy the membership benefits. Clubs can be assisted by the Canadian Curling Association's Development Fund, which serves to promote, renovate, and offer advice on operations. Get involved. Join a club near you today. It has lifetime value.
Randy Ferbey and the Canadians led the Final Four, finishing with a record of 8-1 on the ice against Norway, while the other semifinal features Finland and Switzerland. Both those teams at 7-2. And on the right is the Swiss skip, Ralph Steckley, playing Finland, and Marco Jussi Pavliniemi. It's funny how paths cross, Linda. Steckley, of course, the 97 World Junior Champion, and they beat Finland that year to win the championship. And on that Finnish team was Kalle Kiskainen, and Kalle Kiskainen is now playing for Marco Jussi Pavliniemi. So they meet again at a World Championship, only now in men's play. Final stone for the Finnish skip here in the 5th. Gets the little rub and the roll to the 4-foot, so he has his first point. They go to the break. Switzerland leading 3-1. As we welcome you back to the arena in Winnipeg on this Saturday morning. Semi-final Saturday for the men. And it's Norway with a 5-3 lead. Canada playing the Redstones with the hammer here in 6.
That's one of the things you do hate in this game, Linda. You get a nice deuce, in this case in the 4th end, and then you give it right back in the 5th. So it's psychologically it's tough, but puts them in a hole. Playing 6, of course. They
all there. It's good.
They have the hammer, trying to generate a couple of points.
Well, you and I were talking about that 5th in and how Canada maybe could have guarded and not gone for that big tap angle shot. And sometimes in the playoffs, you feel that teams maybe pushed a little bit. Try to get that extra shot. But maybe if you just played a little less complicated, it works out better.
Shot, Marty.
There's a good shot. Yeah, I think that I think if they put the guard on that raise, I don't know where Paul can get his extra point from. In hindsight, so great. I mean, you know, obviously, if he ticks it over, but the raise was still there to get the single.
Yep. Whoa.
Canadian stone is too good, so Paul will take off the front stone and leave that red rock in the rings.
Fleming Daminger has been with Paul Trulsen ever since their junior days, winning a silver medal in junior play in '83. Time to check the numbers after 5. They're brought to you by True Value. Linda?
Well, the numbers are very interesting because you're going to see the overall team percentages are exactly the same. And what has happened so far is Paul Trulsen, for example, is sitting at 65%. But in his 65%, the bad ones come when Canada scores. He made his perfect shots in the ends where he got 3 and 2, for example. So he's not overall curling that well. But boy, is he making the big shots, and that's what we talk about with the numbers. You've got David Netherland throwing last at 73% and has the edge in numbers, but it's Paul Trulsen with the big shot at the right time.
Right shot at the right time. We talk about it all the time. That was an interesting call. I thought Randy might go up at the corner again, and then a couple times see what Trulsen did. They're going to try and get rid of the top red one, of course, and that'll eliminate the yellow behind the red.
This will move some granite, do some house cleaning.
Certainly get some separation, you would think. And they'll spill one red out.
That almost stayed in. I think it rolled out.
Is it in? No.
It's actually quite important that it spilled out, because what Paul's thinking about now is potentially keeping it really open and trying to get some doubles and that sort of thing. That might have really complicated his opportunities to get rid of these Canadian rocks.
That's the kind of day it's been. It's what Randy and his team call the other side of the inch, and so far it has been that way a little bit. But even with that, it's been the placement of stones in the first few ends by Norway. They really have got their stones in some great spots. Peel.
Lars Voberg.
Yep. Oh. Wow. Oy.
Paul thought he had a good chunk of that, but he almost missed it. That's what, with that real big weight, so he looked down there. What was that?
He's been fooled on a few of these hits. Thought they were going to curl at the last moment and didn't, or thought they would go a little straighter and they curled.
But what is left, of course, is a Canadian guard covering the edge of the 4-foot.
Whatever you're going to make. We think the rolling got a double. I don't mind this. Okay.
You're talking about hitting and rolling behind that corner as opposed to this draw. I like this call.
The reason you don't hit it is because once you hit it and get that yellow one out of the way, there's a double. That yellow one now impedes the progress of a stone coming from one side of the house, one red stone onto the other.
8, 7.
But it's the shot stone, and it belongs to them.
Yeah, you're right. And eventually you'll have to get rid of it.
And needed the brushing to get by the guard, and then it'll slip too far back edge of the 8. Colleen Jones and the Canadian women are on to the gold medal final after an extra end win. Dramatic finish over Norway. They'll play the U.S., which means on the ice this morning, Norway and Sweden are playing for the bronze medal. And it's a 3-2 lead, Norway, Dorty Nordby, over Sweden and Annette Norberg as they play in the 6th.
Vilken fart är det? Vanlig.
Ja, vanlig.
stång! 11!
Wow. Svar?
Ja! 11! Aha!
Ja! Wow. Ja!
Just missed the double and the stone to the back.
Oh, we could gamble and draw again, too, eh? Huh? We could draw again, too.
I like the flop.
Because things aren't going as well for Canada when they're trying these sort of delicate shots, I think at this point I'd hit and try and set up the deuce right now.
Hit and roll behind the corner. Get the nice roll here, then Paul will have to make a choice. Do I hit the open one? Do I angle freeze?
Close! Whoa! Bumper up. We're not sticking, eh?
No, you're not.
You don't often see that, and we haven't seen it much all week. It's hard not to get discouraged, Randy, and the team just not executing as they can. They know they'll still have a chance after this stone is thrown, because there is still the guard up.
Bump up!
Ticket. Neste drag. Ja. Kommer han ikke nå, eller?
Wow.
Well, they're trading them now, the mistakes, aren't they?
Unbelievable. Yeah, ice is really fooling them, that's for sure.
He took a lot of ice. I was surprised, but he played that quiet weight, and during the week they have curled.
Well, they may have just, it's definitely straightened out in a few spots. There's no question about that.
Huh? Right.
You want to take a little more anyways?
He didn't take a lot of ice, but
Okay.
he threw it very quietly. It just ran right outside the center line.
Bite 4 ideal.
Late.
Okay.
What a break that is for Canada.
Nailed it, see?
Throwing to lie 2, the outturn, David's outturn is coming the same way around the guard.
It's good. For line. Line's good. Where is it? Heat. No. Row. Good. The line. Line's real good.
Line's real good.
There it goes. Hurry. Hurry.
Whoa. Yep.
Hurry.
July 2.
They wanted to get it a little bit closer to the 4-foot.
It was very important to get it into the 8-foot because Paul can try and draw to the back one. But if he is frozen to the back one, it's still a chance for 2 for Canada.
I watched the ice here closely to see what this intern does now. He's taking just into the 8-foot. Expecting about 3.5 feet of curl.
Final stone for Norway, and Paul Trulsen here in the 6th. Canada with the hammer.
Brushing it to try and get it to move for them.
It just has straightened right up there. That's a hit for 3.
Wow. Well, you can imagine with the kind of run the Canadians have had this year through the Nokia Brier in the Worlds, they have only found themselves trailing by 2 or more points 5 times in all those games. And on 4 occasions, they have come back to win. The only loss was against Denmark here in round-robin play. So an opportunity here for them to make a dramatic comeback and take the lead, scoring 3 if they can here in the 6th.
It's not just the lead. It's also the big switch in momentum, because for Canada, things have not gone well in the first half of this game, and this would really change the trend.
It's a big shot right here.
Whoa! Yeah! Whoa! 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 Clean! Whoa! Whoa! Clean! Clean! Clean!
All on its own now. Just push it back, avoid the jam. There's 3 here in 6.
Well, it was just miscues by Norway that set this up, because Paul Trulsen, especially with his first one, had a great opportunity, and they just made a couple mistakes, and David Nettowin was not going to let it go by without making a good shot, and here it is. He gets a little bit of movement that he requires so he doesn't jam it. It comes across, and that's 3 points. And as Linda said, momentum, momentum. And Heather, yes, thank you.
Heather Nettowin.
She couldn't watch it.
And Canada is in front by 1 through 6.
Ah, Nova Scotia, an unforgettable place where saltwater cities, living history, and legendary hospitality meet. A place with 7,400 kilometers of coastline dotted with charming seaside towns. A place that really swings. More than just a vacation, this is Nova Scotia, Canada's seacoast. Contact us today for your free vacation guide.
Right now, it's savings time at a steel dealer near you. Get real power. Steel. Built to last, priced to sell.
Well, the first sign that we're done with winter is the Masters from Augusta. The azaleas are in bloom and spring is in the air. It's a special time of year for the fans and the touring pros. You'll be treated to great shot making and fantastic finishes. TSN is proud to present early round coverage live from Augusta National. Now, let's take a look at this classic Masters moment.
Augusta, 1987. On the second hole of the playoff between Larry Mize and Greg Norman, Mize found himself 40 yards to the right of the green. Mize had made one of the most memorable shots in golf history, leaving Greg Norman in stunned disbelief. Augusta's favorite son had won himself a green jacket.
This TSN Masters moment has been brought to you by HP. HP technology, services, and people help make more things more possible.
Je suis le vent. Seul, je vais sans but. Vers où? Vers quoi? Je suis le...
Porsche uses HP technology to design the world's most exciting cars, making the wind very happy.
Tu es si belle.
Hey, let's talk water softening salts. You gotta get the good one. Windsor System Saver Pellets has the real handle, so it's easy to carry. And it has this easy open corner, so it's easy to pour. You gotta get the good one. System Saver Pellets won't bridge or mush up your system. They dissolve evenly and leave no residue. You gotta get the good one. Hey guys, Windsor System Saver Pellets, get the good one.
Use your MasterCard anywhere this playoff season, and you'll be automatically entered in the MasterCard 3-Star Sweepstakes. You could win a trip to the NHL Stanley Cup Finals, a trip to the NHL All-Star Game, and a power playroom for your home. Go to MasterCard.ca for details.
Canada's 3 in the 6th puts them in front 6-5 as we get set to start play here in the 7th. Norway will have the hammer. Had a chance yesterday to meet some Special Olympic curlers, the Manitoba champions, coached by Joyce Raikkonen from Stonewall. They won the gold medal in Ottawa a couple of years ago at the Canada Special Olympics Winter Games, and the team will be heading back for the next Special Olympics Winter Games next February in Charlottetown, PEI. Curling has been part of the Special Olympics now for about 4 or 5 years, Ray. And curlers have really taken to it.
Oh. Oh, on. Yep.
Well, I don't mind telling you that was one of the weirdest ends I've seen all year long in competition, because it just, I don't blame Paul Trulsen for just kind of shaking his head, because, I mean, neither one of those shots were badly thrown, and they just ran straight down there.
He got fooled really on 3 shots, dramatically fooled, a missed on the peel, and then, which cost him because the rock got behind the guard, and then the miss on his more open shot, the rock at the back of the house that he could have removed. And then the draw didn't curl, and they couldn't brush it to get it far enough either. So it sat in a good spot for David Nedouin to remove it.
Yeah. Where do you want it? 4. 4? 4, Marty.
That's the zones that we showed you, earlier.
Run. 3, 4. Not deep, not deep. 4, 5. 4, 5. Hard now. Hard, 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 hard. Yep.
Now it's time for Canada to try and hold Norway. So far they haven't been very successful when Norway has the hammer. During round robin play, they were very good at it. When the opponent had the hammer, 51% of the time they forced the opponent to take only 1 point. Norway down at 37%. Canada by far on the opportunities with last rock to score, and the force when the opponent had last rock were the best. And this year, better than ever in both categories. Just an incredible run during round robin play.
I foresee in the future, you won't even have time to sleep. I mean,
there'll be papers on the bed. I won't even get near it. The first time all year, though, Ray, we've had a team with over 50% in both categories. So that's something to shoot for, because I think we talk high 30s, 40% for both.
Could go here.
As being pretty good. 50% or more, that's incredible to be able to score with the hammer and force the single when you don't have it.
And I think they are telling, very telling statistics. The one statistic we've talked about, too, is saves. And it's something that, as a group, we've talked about, but those big shots.
Wayne, yep, yep.
I don't get time to sleep is for altogether a different reason.
Whoa. hard. What do you say whoa for? I'm not sure.
Is it done?
You know what? What do you say whoa for?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
but you go back one end, go back to the 5th, and the record for the team leading after 5 ends, 45 wins, 12 losses. So which one do you want to believe?
I'm going to believe the last one, because it's more current, Vic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does that count?
Okay. No net. Yeah.
Great come around.
Top 4, Fleming Davinger.
Well, they threw that guard out there. They called for it in that with their zone call 4 or 5, and
I don't mind playing the bump. Bump. mind.
Bumper like?
Yeah. Okay, bumper. What's that?
Top one.
Oh. What do you think?
What do you like? Bumper, eh?
Yeah, okay.
Going to run it back. It is a great come around. I like this call, too.
Bumper up. Oh. Bumper up. Oh. Right on.
Oh.
No. Yeah. Whoa. 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 Yeah. 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 Hard. Hard.
Run it back, catch a corner, and they will.
Sorry, guys.
They had to call it a little bit earlier.
I wanted to go too.
You can see the brushers didn't want to brush it. But they were waiting for the call. Watch, they want to go. The brushers want to go here. They just left it a little too long. I heard David say, I'm sorry. They had to get it a little earlier. They could have driven it right back and exchanged it. It rolled into the open.
And now on a come around, if this one is made well, the two guards out in front are not that usable for Canada. The red guard rolled in behind the yellow. This one's not going for them. Totally different path.
NHL playoffs continue here on TSN coming up at 2:30 Eastern. You'll see Minnesota and Colorado game 2, Wild winners in game 1.
Yep. Hurry. 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 Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
That one rolled further than they wanted. But you didn't want to leave the shooter there, because at this point, if you've got some ice that's tricky, you're probably saying that a little tap and roll to get behind cover is actually easier than the come around.
Yep. Okay. Whoa.
He narrowed up the ice a little bit.
Off the full box.
The movement, just when you get across center, it will move a little bit.
Very nice throw.
T-line edge of the 4.
Ian? That? Ian? No, not really.
Switzerland with a 3-1 lead over Finland as they play in the 7th. They blanked 6, and Switzerland with the hammer. And this is the final stone of the 7th for Finland and Markku Jussi-Pavelniemi.
Pidetään kokonaan valkoinen. Punainen on hyvä. Punainen valkoinen. Pidetään just punainen vaan. Suunta alkaa olla tiukka.
Switzerland with the hammer.
Vähän yli. Ei. Vähän yli tee. Takavalkoinen. Tee. Takapunainen. Tee. Hei. Hei.
David Nedowen and his first. As we play the 4th stones, Norway with the hammer, remember, in our game.
8, 9. Right off. Play tight. Coming down. Come down. Get it here.
Trying to take it right down and put it on the face like that.
That's another one of those ones where the Canadians that were brushing thought it was stronger.
Oh, man.
On the bottom, you can see the Swiss team talking an opportunity for a big score, perhaps, but they have to be careful down there. That's why they're taking so much time to call their shot on that other ice.
And when they've decided, we'll go back to show it to you.
Yellow still shot there. Just had to sweep it a wee bit. Had to wait for it, too. It took a long time to get over there.
Wouldn't take much to do the tap-tap, so Paul has to try and get another stone in for shot or second shot.
I shotten. Må nesten dra på noen andre, ellers kan han spille dobbelen. Vi må ligge på innsida, altså. Så gjør han dobbelen. Det kan vi gjøre, ellers kan vi garde.
Vic, in that Swiss game, it's an opportunity for more. They talked about whether they should take the single because of the scoreboard, keep the control, or go for the big double. Looks like it's the double he selected.
The double, there's a possibility of a jam, though. Stone back, 8 foot.
Very thin tick double here.
Ralph Steckley. Off one. Move it far enough, and he did. He'll still get his deuce.
Paul trying to come down to the other Canadian stone. He wants to sit 1-2.
Tap that back. You gotta be careful. Back into no, not going to go like this. Who's shot over here? No, we bump off the roll. And then he's on a double for 2 or 3. You know?
So what do you want to do?
No, I'm just saying be careful.
I know. Well, we want to stick. What kind of weight you going to throw here then?
Here?
Well, unless you roll big here.
Well, then you got to play bad. What, doing that? Play bumper, roll all the way over. Yeah, probably good too.
Play weight and roll against ours?
No, I'm still thinking just 11, but just play as a roll, that's all. Because I don't want to overthrow it and have a track and miss it. I think you got to play it sort of by ear. And
well, we can't hit. Yeah, okay.
I mean, sure, we can call it to go that way. But if it's taken off.
Well, okay.
You know, if it's taken off, then you got to let it.
So you want to play to the nose then?
No, I said we can play this way if you want.
Well, which way are we playing?
Well, that's what I'm asking you. We can play that way.
11 up kind of right here?
Yeah.
It's interesting because you could just play it.
Try and roll it.
Listen to them. They're going to try and roll across.
Yeah, let Dave. Randy wants 11 up. Okay.
Ice seems to have them a little spooked, Linda, because we don't hear them talk, certainly through round robin, about tracking. But you know, heard David said, I don't want to overthrow it here and get bitten by the ice.
And go by everything and not even move that yellow stone.
Boy, look at them go here. Pfeiffer closes to the stone. Rock out in front, now backing right off. Now trying to roll it over. Sit on the face, move it back. And lying 1 and 2.
Doubles there for 2, though. That's what they didn't want to do.
Huh? Are you sure? Oh, yeah. That almost worked out bad.
Almost.
Almost found the hole. I know.
They are lying 2.
Oh.
I think that rock is pretty buried, though, Ray, that red stone. He's just drawing.
Yeah.
Oh, ikke noe rygg, ingen rygg, ingen rygg.
Nei.
Ingen rygg. Ingen rygg. Ingen rygg.
Needs full 4.
You see the guards come into play here. Otherwise, he'd be playing the double. Linda mentions that you just can't see enough of it.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Norway and Paul Trulsen will get a single. We're all even again in this men's semifinal, the Ford Worlds.
The Nokia 7210 phone with available camera headset. The new Pocket Translator. We make multimedia messaging as easy as see, snap, and send. Nokia, connecting people.
Oh, would you look at that? Oh, gee. Wow. Don't make eye contact.
The 2003 Ford Taurus SEL comes with a power moonroof, 6 CD player, leather seating, and power adjustable pedals. In fact, it's so comfortable inside.
Does anyone want to get out?
Not me.
No, I'm hunky-dory. All right. I'm thinking we should look for a drive-through.
I can eat. You won't want to go outside.
We're going to go fishing, and we're going to play hockey. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Rusty, he just ate, you know.
no, he's fine. He's fine. Oh.
Scott towels, getting you out of big messes.
You have the ultimate power to look better, to be stronger, to redefine your body and yourself. Introducing the Bowflex Ultimate. Quite possibly the best home fitness machine ever made. In as little as 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week, you can get real results that can change your entire body. With over 90 health club quality exercises and up to 410 pounds of resistance, it's like having an entire gym in your home. Bowflex is so effective that we guarantee you'll get the results you want in 6 weeks or less. Own the new Bowflex Ultimate with no money down and monthly payments lower than many health club dues. Call and ask for a free video and brochure, and check out the entire Bowflex lineup, or visit us on the web at bowflexultimate.com today. The new Bowflex for ultimate results.
Pizza? Dude, we're gonna be late. Relax. Down there. It's soggy, man. Trust me. Uh-huh. No way. Yes way. All right, we'll see.
Microwave pizza from McCain with a special microwave disc. Real crispy, real fast.
Okay, so it worked. Don't act like you invented it.
The toughest enemy to see is that which you are not aware of.
Oh my God! Kevin Nash is back!
Now that Triple H is looking, can the game stop what Nash has in store? WWE Raw, Monday at 9, TSN.
Well, the Golden Boy atop the legislature. We're in Winnipeg. Winners of this event will be the Golden Boys. We will be back in Manitoba in December, but north of here, about an hour north, straight north in Gimli, Manitoba for the McCain TSN Skins game, December 6th and 7th. Randy Ferbey will be there as defending champion. And there's the number to call for tickets. The McCain TSN Skins game next December in Gimli, Manitoba. Well, we've made this straight trip. We've been to Selkirk before, of course, and then we go straight north. And hopefully, well, of course, Gimli, famous Gimli glider of years ago. Remember that? The
plane that was set,
plane that ran out of fuel.
That's right. Set down on the airstrip out there.
That's right. They do a lot of auto racing up there, I guess, now on the runways.
They've moved the plane.
Yeah, good. That's a good thing.
They got some gas. We'll just maybe get, you can get that Toronto flight to set down there for you.
No. 6-6 as we go to the 8th, and Canada with the hammer playing Redstones.
And what a big switch when Canada got that 3 to go ahead and then forced the single. A total change in the way the scoring had happened from earlier in the game.
These player comparisons brought to you by Nokia, the official wireless phone of the Season of Champions.
Marcel Rock, again with the wonderful numbers, came in at 88% average, 84% with the big edge over Bent. And these lead rocks, when we talk about the last part of the game, whether it's putting up the guard or trying to tick it off, they really are very critical in the last few ends of the game.
Well, you could feel the tension earlier in this game from the Canadians because things were just not going their way, but they did get a great couple of breaks when in the end they got the 3, the 6th end.
And earlier that stone would have been buried top of the 8-foot, and now it comes too deep for Norway. Little things can make a big difference at this point of the game.
Give me a second, Scott. I didn't get this shot.
This would be Scott Pfeiffer's intern around the guard.
Hey, very good.
Five.
Line's good. Line's real good.
Line's good.
Real.
Room.
Whoa.
Should go right about now.
I'm trying to remember, have we seen the ice do this at any other time?
Be a little bit straighter
Yeah,
here.
I don't
Not
think
really.
so.
No, not really. Oh, what a great game by Fleming, 91%. And Scott had been at the top for seconds at 85, a little bit lower, but it's Fleming really posting the big numbers.
Well, he's the guy that's got some stones and great angles, and he's got another opportunity right here. Freeze on the face of the rock in the 4-foot. No turn for the Norwegian second.
Wow, just by. They let it go because they knew it had lots of weight.
Great shot. Oh, boy, he just isn't letting up, is he?
Is there a double?
It's there.
Off the side?
Yes, there is.
I don't mind trying it. What? I don't mind trying it. Yeah. 3/4 are off. Yep.
Scott Pfeiffer. Right out of his hand, Hedwin and Rock pick it up. Looking for the double, got one, jump it across, move it far enough.
Good shot. I feel like they've gotten it right out of there.
This is his best shot if we talk about the things that have happened all week. Just didn't bounce it far enough, and the shot stone, the top 4-foot stone, is open. Good throw by Scott. Now this is the spot on the ice that really fooled Paul earlier in this game.
Doubles there. You can't afford to hit this one on the center line side. You'll drive it right onto your own. Doubles there. You can clear the 2 red stones out.
Lars Boberg, boy, he barely let it go. They jumped it now. Did they jump it early? Did they panic? Angle it back? They jam it, and Canada line won.
I don't know. Right here. He's going to try that later, but...
Coming up later today, the Canadian women, Colleen Jones and her team from the Mayflower in Halifax, will play for gold against the U.S. Bronze medal game. Norway, Sweden, you see Annette Norberg, stool of 2 and 6, steal of 2 and 7. Leading Doherty Nordby now, 6'3". She's a terrific story, Annette Norberg. This is her 5th appearance at the World Championship. She's medaled every time she's been here.
7, 8. A little more than yours. Yeah, a little bit. For light. Oh, good. 9. Close. 9. Yeah. Whoa. All there. Whoa. 7, 8. 9. 9. Yeah, big bump, big bump, big bump. No. Never. No. Big bump. No. Never. Okay.
Randy's starting the draw weight.
He is, and not showing up on those numbers, Ray. He's only thrown 4 of them, but 69%, and that's brought his numbers down below Lars. I think both of them would feel they could have made a few more shots so far in this game.
Back one, we got this.
It actually didn't, you hear them talking, it didn't work out so bad, but they were just freezing to the face of that, and then he bumped it back, but he had some rocks in behind it, so Paul Trulsen's just going to come around and freeze to the face of the red stone.
73. Trulsen?
Ja.
Helt ikke. Litt langt.
Hvor lang er den?
Nei, puffig. Nei, bak.
Jeg hører ikke. Jeg hører ingen.
Sitt på en bak.
Ja, han går på. Kom igjen, da! Free! Free!
They played plan B.
And a little rub to take it to the back, and they will sit a shot stone.
Puffer blir litt vanskelig for meg. Jeg vet ikke hvem av dem.
We have to try it, don't we? Well, you have to roll a bit, for sure. I think you got to play that and roll to here. You can throw 11. 11 just. Yeah. They're not going real hard here, right?
No, I'll be down, Evan.
Okay. Anything here? A little your way.
Try and roll over.
Well, a little roll this way or rock over would be real good, eh?
Right there.
These two-thirds have traded some mistakes, so after a mistake, you love to jump on the opportunity. This is Randy's chance to set it up.
Love it. Whoa. Love it. On this one, Dave. On this one.
Try to avoid the jam, push it back far enough, and Canada flying 2. Update for you, Switzerland and Finland as they play in the 8th.
There's too much ice, I
Var
think,
det
for
nedpå?
that.
Nei, nedpå de to bak der.
Looks like Mark, who is lining up a possible
Yeah.
big weight shot. He's so good at them. Really struggling to get back in the game, though.
Finland trailing by 4 to the Swiss, and Ralph Steckley looking to make the double. Get the blank, take the hammer to 9. Oh boy. And that'll be a steal of 2 for Switzerland, and that will be it. And the Swiss are through to the final.
Trulsen trying to freeze again, and it's just a tough spot for them.
Det er ingen muligheter til å komme til den nå.
Or we hit these in the cross.
Severout's going nowhere.
Det er andre veien så.
I think we can spin it out.
You know what? I think we almost have to freeze and then hopefully put something there with the last one, Dave.
Bumper?
I don't know if it's going to go. Past that one.
I think it spins back.
I really do.
Which one?
The 7-rock.
Well, I just want to spin it so it's lined up with their shooter.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, then why don't you just throw... I'm going to throw 11 or something like that.
Got it. Then we out. What kind of weight here? 11. Okay.
Just going to sit him. Back ring weight.
All we want to do is spin that yellow one behind our shooter. Yep. Touch board ready. Yep.
Real hard! 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 Whoa! 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 Let it up! Whoa! Let it up! Whoa! Let it up!
Just 11.
Whoa!
Just 11.
Watch.
I can't take it.
That's what they wanted, to spin that yellow rock right behind their shooter, you heard him say.
And it's big trouble for Trulsen, and so far he's really been up and down, and right now his numbers are very low. He made the big shots earlier. He needs a huge one here. David with the edge in the total numbers so far. He just made a nice shot.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Akkurat nedpå.
Ja. Vi spiller bare samme fart.
And this has to be perfect because we know when rocks are lined up and are frozen, the one at the top of the stack can usually be removed. The one in the middle won't go, and the one in the middle belongs to Canada.
He's got to get this on the perfect angle. If he leaves David any kind of an angle, he'll be able to get it out of there. And move the other yellow back, as Linda suggests, and you could have a score of 3.
Ramsfeld, Davinger. With Trulsen right behind them, barking at him. Take it as far as you can. Drag it down right on the face if you can get it there. Oh boy, can you get to it now and maybe chip it through the hole?
I would say yes.
Oh, yeah.
I think you got to throw a 9, 10. You get 2, just 2 with half a rock.
Oh, no way.
Quarter of a rock.
No way, that's not going out the 9. That thing's going to move.
It doesn't have to go. You got to move it here. No way. You hit it right here.
What if you, what do you throw a bumper at it? Just make sure we get one here. Well, I was looking at this, guys. You can play off the
No.
You'll give him one that way.
Scott's right. Our 3 rocks going nowhere because it's going this way.
Yeah, but I just don't believe that we're going to squirt that very far with a 9 like that.
Well, what about a bumper?
You think it's going to go at least here?
Yeah.
Because ours is going to that one. Is this going to be... Well, you're right. We should get one with our shooter anyway.
Right.
Okay.
That's the dispute. David doesn't believe this one here is going to move quite far enough.
Bumper down. Yeah.
Randy does. We're going to throw it with bumper weight.
So squirting it far enough to score 3 out of the question?
Yeah.
Yes.
So what's the verdict? How much weight?
I like the more weight
We're trying to hit how much a quarter? No.
The very quiet weight. It is difficult to move a frozen stone very far with that very quiet backline weight.
Nail it, Steve. You want to make sure our shooter gets the 1. Yeah.
That was a nice shot by Trulsen. Gets it on a bad angle, and then the 3 would be possible.
Bumper! Bumper up!
Final stone here in aid of a 6-6 tie. Want to be sure of at least one.
Pick! Whoa, no. Hard.
Move it far enough. They will. They'll move it far enough to score the single at the back of the button. So the Canadians will take the lead again. Back and forth we go here in Winnipeg.
The world's largest hotel chain is almost anywhere you want to go. The world's largest hotel chain tucks you in around the globe. With over 4,000 hotels in over 80 countries, the world's largest hotel chain is Best Western, inviting you to get a good night's sleep. Best Western, the world's largest hotel chain. Call 1-800-WESTERN or visit bestwestern.com.
Ah, Nova Scotia. An unforgettable place where saltwater cities, living history, and legendary hospitality meet. A place with 7,400 kilometers of coastline dotted with charming seaside towns. A place that really swings. More than just a vacation, this is Nova Scotia, Canada's seacoast. Contact us today for your free vacation guide.
Cecilia, I have never loved another the way that I loved you.
Scotties, be soft, be strong.
Well, the first sign that we're done with winter is the Masters from Augusta. The azaleas are in bloom and spring is in the air. It's a special time of year for the fans and the touring pros. You'll be treated to great shot making and fantastic finishes. TSN is proud to present early round coverage live from Augusta National. Now, let's take a look at this classic Masters moment.
Augusta, 1989. When Scott Hoke missed this par putt on the 17th hole, it set up a playoff for the Masters title between Hoke and Nick Faldo. On the first hole, Hope needed this short putt for the win. This surprising miss gave Nick new life, and on the next hole, Faldo made this 25-foot birdie putt for his first Masters title.
This TSN Masters moment has been brought to you by HP. HP technology, services, and people help make more things more possible.
Je suis le vent. Seul, je vais sans but. Vers où? Vers quoi? Je suis le...
Porsche uses HP technology to design the world's most exciting cars, making the wind very happy.
Tu es si belle.
The toughest enemy to see is that which you are not aware of.
Oh my God! Kevin Nash! Kevin Nash is back!
Now that Triple H is looking, can the game stop what Nash has in store?
WWE Raw, Monday at 9, TSN.
The 2003 Ford World Curling Championships from Winnipeg, Manitoba are brought to you in part by Robaxaset, helping you walk away from back pain.
Ralph Steckley and the Swiss celebrating a semifinal win over Finland, 7-1. And so Steckley will play for gold. He moves on, trying to win the Swiss 4th World Championship. Their last was Marcus Egler back in '92, Jörg Tanner, Otto Danieli, their former Swiss World Champions. And now they wait to see who they will play in Sunday's final. Canada with the single in the 8th now leads 7-6 over Norway. And the Norwegians have the hammer.
Yep.
Well, we talked about that shot, and I think that there was the way that rock backed up a little bit when it came across and hit the other red. I don't think two was possible. The angle that Paul Trulsen put it on was absolutely perfect.
And he had been struggling, so that was a big shot at the right time again.
But David Netherman was right. It was very important to get the single. Keep that control point. It's not a lot, but at least it's there.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Hard. Nice shot.
Coming up later today, Colleen Jones and the Canadian team will play the U.S. and Debbie McCormick from Madison, Wisconsin for the gold. Norway, Sweden playing for the bronze, and it is 7-3 Sweden and another steal. Look at that, last 5 points, all stolen by Sweden and Annette Norberg as they go to the 9th. Mentioned that Annette has won 3 bronze and 1 silver in her previous 4 appearances, and looking like she might get a 4th bronze now, medaling every time out. She can hold on to win.
Trying to freeze to the face of it. That was the first call. Now you can see it hanging out. They're trying to bring it by.
And Linda Ray, with this being our final scheduled broadcast of the year, I'd like to take a minute to mention the names of a few people who have helped us bring everyone the season of champions. Our senior producer, Paul McLean, our lead director, Andy Boyukas, and our associate producer, Peter Buchanan.
So where do you want to hit it?
Of course, here with us, and
as much as you
Kathy
can
Gauthier and John Wells for the morning draws. The producer there was Scott Higgins, director Wesley Schutte, and our technical producer through it all is Murray Corbin.
Please? Well then. Whoa. Please? No. Girl. All right.
Good boy.
All right.
Well, 10,000 strong came this morning, or close to it. Maybe a few down from that, but to be entertained, and entertained they have been.
Looking for the little hit and flop in front of the shot stone.
Vanlig. No. Yep. Yep.
How many shots has he made?
An amazing
Du
game.
må jo ha sjanse til å komme til nå. Ikke enig da?
Is that a guard?
What?
Guard?
He's just coming around.
Okay.
Late finish.
But Yellowstone's in a good spot in front of shot stone. It could be run back in some fashion. Even using the red guard out in front, at least the Yellowstone would remove shot rocks. They'll try and come around it all.
Over line, roll line. Wait there. Heat. Wait there.
Whoa.
Heat. Yeah, I lost.
Get her way back. A little better out there.
We'd also like to acknowledge our good friends at the Canadian Curling Association. Chief Executive Officer Dave Parks, Warren Hansen, the Manager of Event Operations, and Neil Harrison, Manager of Championship Services. And, of course, when we come to the world events, it's the World Curling Federation, Roy Sinclair, the President, and Richard Harding, the Broadcast Associate. So to all of them, we say thank you.
Hva? Hva med å slå den bak? Slå? Ja, vi kan gjerne så prøve å rulle litt.
Det er nesten ikke mulig.
Takk.
Nå må du spille heller på fristen, og så spiller vi heller på tappen etter hvert. Spill på tappen. Ja.
Randy thought he'd freeze to this, but he's playing to tap it out.
Which means he's still hoping to bring into play that Yellowstone top 12-foot.
Whoa! Nice!
Hei! Hei, Knå! Kommer nå!
Kommer nå! Yes! Whoa!
Another one.
Boy, he has made some shots. You've already mentioned that Fleming and Deminger and Paul Trulsen have been together a long time.
Wait.
Just freeze. No, last day.
Yeah, they won a silver medal at the World Juniors back in 1983.
Eight. Eight. Room. Whoa. Whoa, guys. Right off. Never. Big. No, we're not.
Seems to be sliding nicely out here. The main concern is the fact that they're not getting a lot of movement.
No.
We're not to it.
Yep, now bring it.
Over there.
Yep.
I already talked earlier that the Canadian team can't expect to take exactly the same ice as the Norwegian team. Norway throws a little out in on a lot of their shots and get a little more curl. So Lars will try the same sort of shot he saw Fleming make. Tap and roll in.
If you get across the face enough, can you push it by and avoid the jam?
Yeah, you can, for sure. That's what he's trying.
Hi.
Whoa, no. Whoa, aldri.
Lars Voberg, Norway, with the hammer down by one here in the ninth. Just like that. To lie two.
No. No way.
Well, you got to try to get one of them out.
Yeah?
I think you have to.
Great shots by Norway and put Canada into a
We're not going to sit there.
pretty bad situation.
Don't play too cute.
How are these lined up?
Kick that front yellow.
In terms of Canada and helping them, or are they?
It's not really a good angle, Vic.
Deal then. I like 2-0.
That was a beautiful roll by Lars.
Rip it out.
They're not going away easy, I'll tell you. These rocks are in a good spot. It's just going to try and peel it.
Got to get rid of one of them. You heard Ferbey say, just pick it out. Got to get something, and they will.
Well, I don't mind giving up a deuce. I don't want to give up any more. I'd love to hold them to one, obviously, but... Linda mentioned that the Norwegians have a tendency to throw a little outside in, and they seem to be getting a little more action on these kind of shots down here.
Canada peeled it out, hoping that Lars doesn't make a nice come around and that they'll get a better angle and maybe have a chance for a double after this rock comes to rest. They need to tuck this a little bit around the top stones.
Yep. Helt ikke. Kølle. Helt ikke. Kølle. Litt langt. Bak ti. Veldig lang. Bak ti. Hvor lang da? Bak ti.
Canada got no movement at all down here.
And this one's stronger than the last ones. They wanted to throw a much lighter rock so the brushers could take it. That's not a good shot.
Deep.
Just no curl down there either. That was just too strong, though.
A little bit short, wasn't so bad. Couldn't be long.
Ice was good, just backed it up a bit. Same ice. Oh, mine, I threw awful.
Yeah. I like an honest person.
I threw it awful, he said.
Well, this crowd of close to 10,000 responding as David Netherwin makes his way down to throw his first. Norway with the hammer and down by one. Opportunity for the Canadians to get out of something here?
Yeah, he's just going to freeze down on top of it. It's a lot easier said than done. It's been a tricky spot. They talked about Randy's shot down there, and you heard him say, I just threw it awful. So.
And the tricky part is the release. And if you have a clean release, it probably will move, but you have to also have the perfect weight so they don't have to brush it.
Just for line. Go line. Yeah, we're all there. All there. It's not bad. Coming down. Wait. All there. Coming down. Coming down now. Still there. Still there. Girl. All right.
Oh, got a little finish right at the end.
Big time. I think we're shot.
Who's shot?
Canadians think they are.
With just that tiny bit at the end, it looked like it maybe got far enough. That's close.
Du må bare akkurat ned på den, altså. Hvis det er lenger enn ned på den, så så vi har akkurat shot den nå. Vi har jo ikke noe annet å gjøre. Må på innsiden. Ja, må det.
Gir oss litt å koste på?
Ja, gjerne.
Det er fint og glatt der. 94 blank, greit. 4 blank.
He threw the beautiful freeze last in. That saved a point. I only gave up one.
Bare køle. Bare køle. Køle, litt ute. Hold i gang. Kommer nå. Ja, bar. Hent meg. Gå. Så køle. Gå. Han kommer nå. Gå ta. Ja. Gå. Gå ta. Køle. Fakta er viktig. Skal jeg køle. Ja. Kom igjen. Three.
Enough? No.
No.
Vi klarte å fucke det, ja.
Vi må få ta farten, vi, altså.
Hva?
Vi holder farten der. Vi slipper opp når dere går bak.
Is it out of there?
You had to go all the
Is
way.
one leaving though too? Might.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's going out too.
Oh, that's all right.
Unless you hit it real thin. No, Scott, it's not all right because we roll out and lose this. He's playing this for 3.
I don't even.
Well, oh yeah. I don't know if it's there for 3 without. I think he's got to play the race. Or we can do this. Who do you think's shot right now? I think they're. Yeah, I do too. Twice? I think they're shot. Yeah.
Scott originally thought, Scott Piper thought that Red was shot, but they certainly changed their minds now.
So we have that for 3 though, because they all go. Can we stick our shooter? Might be able to, yeah. It's tough. That's tough though. You got to make sure it goes. Geez, that 3 rock's gone, and he's got a shot for 3.
What about tapping that up? No, that's... Why not that? That's not bad. Except if we miss it, we tap him in, he's drawing for 3. You know, if we rob or... Yeah. Because they're staying so straight out there now, too. That's not bad either, Marcel.
Well, it comes a little too far, he bashes it well for 1.
How are we on?
What do we got?
10 minutes left. I don't think this is there for... I don't know. There for 2. Like playing the run.
That's tough to get that out with the outside.
Yeah.
That's very... He'll be playing a run, quite possible. That's right, it's only 1.
Everyone into it.
You never know, that might stick. Problem with that insurance draw is if we ever robbed and stayed open, he plays the double for 3 again. Yeah. You want to hit it? Yeah, let's blast it. I say blast it. Most he's getting is 2. Well, I honestly don't think that's there for 3 days. Okay, then. How much do you have to hit, Randy? 3/4?
Quarter?
Huh?
Quarter, a little. Even if you just clip ours will stay.
Yeah, I don't mind if we hit it thin and just clip ours, because then it hopefully robs them back and we get shot.
Big shot, Linda.
Whoa.
Final stone for the Canadians and David Nedewin.
Wait. Randy, you got to do something here.
A chance for a couple.
Just had to curl a little bit more. They would have moved the yellow one back so they were lying 2, but they're only lying the 1, so there's a chance for 2. Had to curl a little bit more, so you would have moved that Yellowstone back into the 12 foot. Tap back for a deuce.
Now, this is in the spot that Fleming made the beautiful shot. Lars made the beautiful shot because they got the little bit of curl at the end. You cannot be outside on this spot or it will not come back.
And go back to the way he throws this stone, Linda. Because that little extra extension, that little push.
This is his out turn. He usually lets these go pretty well.
Yeah, it's not the push, Vic. It's what you do with the release as far as the curl goes.
Yep.
So a chance for 2, Norway. And right out of his hand. One more time. Big scrub down needed by Ramsfeld and Davinger. Really get it by? They did! Oh, what a tremendous bit of brushing. Will it settle in time? And it will for 2, and you betcha that front end just saved it for Norway and Trulsen.
Boy, that really moved when it started to go, didn't it?
I can't believe how much that curled after all of those stones went so straight. Just see if you see anything in the hand. Not really.
Well, he just gets across into a new path. A little closer to that 4-foot line. Now it starts to come up. Starting to go right now. Just gets by that. Whoa!
I thought that was on the front one for sure.
So Canada will have the hammer coming home, down by 1.
The next big event on the international curling calendar is coming to Thunder Bay, the 2003 Continental Cup. The best men's and women's teams from North America up against the best from the rest of the world. Singles, mixed doubles, skins games. Last time, it went down to the final shots of the final game. It's curling like you've never witnessed before, and bragging rights to boot. Get your tickets now for the 2003 Continental Cup in Thunder Bay.
I was born to get standing ovations. Now I dance to stay healthy. But when I've neglected my diet, I've depended on the science of Centrum daily for complete vitamin and mineral support. Centrum helps make my day complete.
Preparation H. It shrinks hemorrhoids to help stop the suffering.
I was tired of getting pushed around on the web by junk mail, computer viruses, questionable content. It was time to get tough. So I got MSN8 and added some real power to my internet service. This guy never slinks. He's tough on junk mail, computer viruses, and kid safety. Who knew a butterfly could be so tough?
Looking for an internet software tool that works hard to protect your family? Introducing new MSN8. Visit msn8now.msn.ca and get 2 free months when you sign up. MSN8 software offers flexible parental controls that you set to help you protect your kids online. And it's tough on junk email with multiple blocking filters and automatic virus protection that scans incoming mail. Email's more fun, too, with built-in photo editing and custom graphics. Visit msn8now.msn.ca and get 2 free months when you sign up. New MSN8. It's better with the butterfly.
It's been building up for months. The frustration of calcium buildup in your shower head. Get it clean with CLR, the industrial strength cleaner that takes on the toughest jobs around your house. CLR dissolves rust, lime, and calcium buildup easily without scrubbing. For everything from stucco and brick to the dishwasher. You know CLR for its legendary strength, but CLR works safely too for tough stains in the house, like buildup in both the coffee maker and coffee pot, or deposits in the humidifier. CLR gets rid of rust and stains in the washing machine, so when you wash, your clothes come out clean. So why buy a new shower head when your old shower head works just like new with CLR? Skip the rubbing and scrubbing. Say goodbye to buildup. No house should be without CLR. CLR leaves nothing behind.
At participating Canadian Tire, Home Hardware Building Centers, Safeway, Shoppers Drug Mart, Co-op stores, Rona Revy Home and Garden, Pro Hardware Do-It Centers, True Value Hardware, and Zellers.
The key shot is brought to you by Robaxaset, helping you walk away from back pain. Great shot, but even better brushing.
Well, Vic, it's a spot that had gone so straight, and so you know when you're throwing last, sometimes you have a little tendency to come out inside because you don't want to be wide, Ray, in that spot, but it was the brushing that made that shot.
Yeah, it was great brushing. He released it nicely, though. He got it out there a little bit, but he's got a pretty soft release with his out turn, but I can't believe it. It got to the center line, but it was not by either. I thought he was on the... Watch this here now. Right there is where I thought he was just going to rub that. Gets by, and it almost goes too far. Nice shot by the Norwegian skip.
Settled in time, and then that front end with the high fives. Pretty proud bunch.
And you know, it started for Paul in the 7th end. He drew against 2, got his single, forced the single with a great freeze in 8, and then a nice tap there. So he is playing much better after a slow start in this game.
So the Canadians down by 1 with the hammer in 10, and between ends, we were listening, and they said, we've been in this situation before, we know what to do.
Okay. Put apart.
And this situation, Vic, where you're 1 down with the hammer, often does turn out well for the team with the hammer. It's tough to defend the position, in this case for Norway.
Yeah. Right on the nose. I like tapping.
Tapping?
Yeah, just 9, 10. Sure.
The other choice, of course, was to put up the corner guard.
But the difference in philosophy means what here? One shot as compared to the other.
Well, as soon as you put up the corner, it's probable the other team will think about peeling one of them off. This way you're moving in sooner, Vic, to get rocks into the house and get some stones behind the tee line you can maybe freeze to later.
The one that hit that on the nose. Paul could peel the card right now.
Yep, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just a really great game for Fleming. Wonderful numbers, and that was what was called. They actually called to peel that right out of the house.
Yeah. Okay. Roll in front of you. Yep.
Scott Pfeiffer.
There is time on the time clocks, if you're wondering, but not a lot of it if you had to stand around and discuss a shot for a little while.
8, 7, 1 out. Close, close, yep, yep, hard, 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 hard.
Good shot. Good.
Ser du hele, Fleming? Ja, ser akkurat hele.
The crowd responding to the final of the bronze medal game in women's play, and it is Sweden who wins it. So that's 5 straight appearances, 5 straight medals for Annette Norberg. So she's picked up 4 bronze medals and 1 silver. That silver coming in Lausanne a couple of years back.
Well, they made a mistake on the brushing. They could have easily put that through the hole of the 2 yellow stones, and it was a brushing error that caused that problem.
Either that or just draw around.
No, I like to hit and roll.
Ah, we can bring this one back into play. That's not bad.
I like that. Hey. Watch that jam on our back red. Kind of wait. Bump her down. Okay.
Bumper. Whoa.
Looking for the inside roll here.
Hard, 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 real hard, real
Brock and Netherwin
hard.
trying to hold the line on Pfeiffer's second.
Hard, 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 hard.
Get the roll, and it will spin too far. They just could not hold it.
Took right off. Kan liksom dra den over. Ja? Det er vel like greit å dra, eller skal vi slå ut den?
I think you have to get there first.
Jeg må nesten dra.
Da gjør vi denne her, Lars. Kom igjen.
They have to get in there first, as Linda suggests. You can't go after the back one. So they're going to go there first, try and get right in and lie 2, right into that position. If you hit the back one, you let Canada do that.
Har lagt ut.
There's a big shot right here, and then they can take this around. Away.
Kan bare gå. Her han kommer nå. Ja! 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 Kom igjen. 3! Helsike! Hvor lang er det?
Akkurat fint, faktisk. Nei, imot. Imot.
Det er en ball.
Er ikke det, Bent?
Norberg will come deep.
Der ble det gruppe der.
4.
Der ble det gruppe der.
Don't have to. Well, we won't get a buyer. You can freeze too. I don't mind that. You guys like freezing or the double?
I'd like to freeze in there.
I kind of like the double. We're always going to have a garden. 2 rocks in.
Scott likes the double.
What does Marcel like? What does Marcel like?
Double. They're both.
Okay.
What kind of weight?
Randy speaking for Marcel in that situation.
I think he might have said something from behind, Vic, that we didn't catch.
Playing the double.
Big Herb.
Made possible because that Norwegian stone came too deep. They were hoping to get it top 8 buried.
Yep.
Randy Ferbey and his first.
Oh, right off. Roll. Oh.
Got one.
Hard. Okay. All right. Not bad. Still got the guard. Pretty good.
85?
Huh?
85?
Indications seem to be just to tap it back, not roll in behind the corner, Linda.
You have to sit in front of it for sure, Vic. That's key.
One more time. Ramsfeld and Davinger.
Slår den igjennom?
Ja. Ja. Litt av fris. Skulle tappe litt, da.
The winner here will move on to the gold medal game and play Switzerland. Winners over Finland. Ralph Steckley beating Markku Jussi-Pavoniemi. The loser will play in the bronze medal game tomorrow.
So whoever wins this game, Canada-Norway, looks like they're facing a very tough opponent in Ralph Steckley.
Good quiet tap back and try and get the roll in behind the guard.
Whoa. Off. Close. 9. Whoa.
They need some movement here.
9, 10.
No.
10. 10. Rub off. Kommer roligheteren?
A little bit of extra weight. We've talked about it all week, and it just will not come.
Randy hasn't been as sharp as he has during the week. I think that's quite clear.
Det gick ju fint för dig i alla
It's a
fall.
little bit off on a few shots.
Det gick ju fint för Lars i alla fall.
A little inside flop there by Randy would have really changed his end.
Treeren.
Ja, bakan.
Men rett på det for så vidt greit nok, det altså.
Ja. Rett på, helt fint.
Samme fart som den oppå, da.
Ja.
Det mye is, eller?
Det var litt mye. Ja, den kommer bra på slutten.
A little change in the ice. Numbers are low. His last 5 shots have been played very well.
Litt lenger.
Wow. Ja! Wow!
Akkurat gjennom.
Helt bort!
Trulsen in his first.
Kommer litt nå. Kanskje nok.
Will he get the flip here? No. But they get away with a little bit of a jam at the back, so it is Norway lying 3 without the hammer here in 10.
Well, where do we put it then? You can't get it out.
Well, right behind it.
I think almost all those 5 shots you talked about have been outturns. They haven't forced them to play any inturns.
Or this. Or do we bump that and roll? And then he's just
Canada
throwing
just
down.
over 3 minutes left.
We've got to miss that. Wow. What do you like, Scott?
Well, just freeze this one.
Freeze?
Then he picks it, I guess, and there's... Yeah, that's tough trouble. I think we got to play this.
I think you're right.
What, the bump and roll?
Hit and roll.
Okay.
We've got 3 minutes.
Just 11? 11?
We talked about freezing in this one. They're going to play the little hit and roll. And this here, try and roll it over.
The other thing, I guess like I say, we could freeze the back one too. He picks it out and we're...
Or follows you.
David looking for his deuce. The front of the forefoot is open for him. So they're going to try and get the second point set up first. Something in behind cover, second shot.
And real hard for line, so here they go, Ronkin, Pfeiffer. And here goes the crowd as well. Every stroke with them, got it by. Now they need a little roll in behind.
I really thought he was on the front one.
Last end it was the Norwegian front end. Here it's Rock and Pfeiffer. Just a great job of brushing in these late ends.
Ja, men hvis vi kommer rolig nå. Vi kommer rolig nå, Lars. Er det en trippel der, eller? Nei, han spiller ikke på trippel nå, vet du.
Du støvler meg? Ja, det er vanskelig å ligge perfekt etter å...
Skal vi snakke med deg nede? Hva synes du? Synes du gar deg ikke, eller? Det er par. Det har ganske mye gare på, altså.
Jeg synes at du legger den på 12 fot, midt foran deg.
Du trenger ikke det engang.
Det går på en meter eller 2 foran, da.
Det kan være hele veien her.
You know what's making them nervous? This is a very tricky piece of ice. This is where they had trouble earlier.
They were going to try and get that out of there, but
Hvor langt inn
changed their
skal man?
mind.
Her? Stein ifra?
In the sixth end, they gave up 3 because they didn't read this spot very well, took too much ice, and didn't make their shots, and David was able to capitalize. They're just going to guard.
And whatever is left for the Canadians, they will have 1 minute and 46 seconds to play it. Norway, shot stone, back 4, looking to guard it. They lead 8-7 here in 10.
It has to be a big question mark in Paul's mind about the ice, even for the guard, to know how to put this dead in front of shot stone and not leave a tap.
Brazel and Davinger trying to close the hole. Can't leave anything. And have they? Or do you come around the other side?
Oh, get up perfect.
I think that's there. We got 1:30. Decide, Dave.
Yeah, that's gonna make it fast, boys, whatever the decision is.
You play the out-turn, though, and don't make it. It's no option.
I think this is there, isn't it? Either or. Yeah.
You have to get through the hole.
Isn't that there? That's tough.
Remember the rule, Linda, you run out of time, you lose it.
You just have to be in your backswing, though. It can go to 0 while the stone is traveling.
You think the intern's there?
I think you hear it. It might be.
Okay. I think the outturn's easier.
Okay.
The 2 options. Out-turn right here through this hole, or the in-turn tap back. And I think they're going to play the in-turn tap back.
What are we playing? Do you think that intern's there to move it?
I do.
If you play the in-turn tap, if you play it quietly, Ray, play it with draw, tap it if you can at the last moment, you're getting your single. If you play through the hole and miss, you're giving up the steal.
20 seconds left on the clock. Final stone. And Norway is lying 1 back 4.
Real good. 8, baby. 7. Gotta go if you can. Whoa.
Mine's not bad.
Gotta go as soon as we can. Gotta cut.
Get by the guard. They do. Can they get to that stone and push it back? Here they go. Hoffman and Kaufman. Moving it up. They do.
What a shot! What a shot! That's why he's thrown it last. With 20 seconds on the clock, a quiet tap back to take yourself to the final, Victor. How about that? And this house is going crazy. They love it here in Winnipeg.
Holy, I didn't know what we're doing.
They had to wait for it, Linda. It stayed out there, and then when it started to break, it broke big time. Did they have enough weight? Yes, it worked out.
I was surprised that Trulsen left his guard so long. I thought the intern was there the whole time. It was definitely the safer shot and perfectly thrown. Ray Ray, if the guard was tighter, this was much harder for David.
No question about it. He got it out there, and then at this point, they're really worried. You heard the call right away. The weight is perfect, Vic. The weight is fine. It's going to break now. Watch the 4-foot line. It starts to move now. They're still waiting for it. They got to hold the weight because you got to move it. You got to move with the foot. It breaks for them in position. What a shot!
And the fans still celebrating here at the arena in Winnipeg, you bet, as the Canadians will move on now to play Switzerland for the gold medal here at the Ford Worlds.
You think it was good? Not like that.
The next big event on the international curling calendar is coming to Thunder Bay, the 2003 Continental Cup. The best men's and women's teams from North America up against the best from the rest of the world. Singles, mixed doubles, skins games. Last time, it went down to the final shots of the final game. It's curling like you've never witnessed before, and bragging rights to boot. Get your tickets now for the 2003 Continental Cup in Thunder Bay.
In 1989, Saskatoon set a new standard for the Canadian Men's Curling Championship with standing room crowds every day. To kick off curling's new millennium in 2000, it was Saskatoon once again and a new attendance record. Next March, Saskatoon shines once more with Nokia Brier 2004. This is the big one, the 75th, and we will open the doors to our house, Canada's party. Get your tickets now and come celebrate 75 shining years.
My name is Randy.
Call me Josh.
Desmond.
I'm Courtney.
Right now, I'm into bodybuilding, football.
Basketball. I like to hang out.
I want to be a cat.
I would be a bird.
I guess you can say I'm quirky. Underneath, I'm just all gooey and mushy.
Pardon me? I say cool way too much.
I like being different and weird.
I'm not a patient person. Next question. I love to laugh.
I don't want to be like everybody else.
Cool. Esquire. Esquire.
Esquire. I am who I am.
Rock of all ages. CD Plus rocks you with the best of the new and the best of the old, including Good Charlotte, the Daredevil soundtrack, Audio Slave, Evanescence, and Kazzer. And the Essential Series, digitally remastered career-spanning collections of essential artists like The Clash, Bob Dylan, Ozzy Osbourne, Art, Santana, and many more. For a location nearest you or to shop online, visit cdplus.com.
In our house, everyone works together to keep things running smoothly, but no one works as hard as CLR's self-cleaning bathroom and kitchen cleaner deodorizer. I use it to tidy up the bathroom before everyone is off for the day. It instantly removes soap scum and hard water stains. Then later, I use it on the tub and shower to get rid of a week's worth of mess. When the kids come home from school, they fix a snack, and no one knows the sticky mess they made. Tonight, Dad's making his famous family spaghetti sauce, but no problem. Its powerful spray action tackles even the hardest stains and spills. It used to take 3 or 4 different products to clean the 2 messiest rooms in our house, but no more. Now just one CLR bathroom and kitchen cleaner deodorizer does it all. Is it any wonder? It's from CLR.
At participating Canadian Tire, Home Hardware and Building Centers, Safeway, Co-op stores, Rona Revy Home and Garden, Pro Hardware, Do It, True Value Hardware, and Zellers.
The 2003 Ford World Curling Championships from Winnipeg, Manitoba are brought to you by Karcher. You'll look for things to clean. By Nokia, official wireless phone of the Season of Champions. And by Ford, built for life in Canada.
Linda, they had a couple of choices here. You come through the hole or you play this one.
I'm playing this one all the way. This is a sure one. Brushing gets you 2. Don't forget, brushing made the first shot, Vic. They got the hit and roll. That was the second point. You've got to tap it far enough now to get the win. And a beautiful shot.
And you made the point. Had Trulsen's guard come tighter, this may not have been there, but it was far enough for the win. to Randy Ferbey, and he does. And, of course, all of Canada celebrates the win. And Ray is with Randy Ferbey.
Randy, does it get any better than this? Unbelievable shot to win.
It's unbelievable. You know, the last two shots were absolutely perfect by Dave. You know, I can't say enough about our sweepers, and Dave, you know, likes throwing those last shots, and that's why he's a skip on our team. Unbelievable.
You know, that was a much harder shot than it looked like. It was a long guard, but you had to wait for it, and then you had to make sure it held the speed.
Well, during the week, it was a relatively easier shot. Today, for some reason, it was running a little straighter there. I wasn't even sure it was there, but Dave made it look easy, and thank God, you know, he's throwing for us, and he had the perfect weight, perfect sweeping. We had a perfect line call on that one. It was a team effort totally on that one.
Well, you talked about Paul Trulsen playing a little possum in that round-robin game. He didn't play possum in that one.
No, he played extremely tough. You know, the whole team was give him credit for it. You know, they were half an inch away from winning this game and playing the gold medal game. But you know, my hat's off to them. They played a great game.
It sure was. And these fans in Winnipeg, boy, I tell you, they went crazy, crazy, crazy.
Unbelievable. They've been supportive of us all week, and that was the ultimate there. You know, to hear that roar go up in the stands like that was unbelievable. Something we'll remember for a long time.
It was a great game to give Switzerland next. Good luck. Victor?
Yeah, it'll be the Swiss and Ralph Steckley as the Canadians play for gold in the men's competition here at the Ford World Sunday. Yeah, David Netherwood. You got it? You bet you do. You're going for gold.